is a perfect time to start the show.
Oh boy, here, it's for you.
Nate was like, "Hey,
It's for you.
did you get around to watching the Jags game yet?"
Oh, you messed me up.
What's wrong? Oh, it's a Jag. It's a Trevor Lawrence with a Pokemon under it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like the wig. We just got to display the wig.
This is dope. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I was just saying I didn't get to that game, and it wasn't anything personal. I know they're, I know they're a wagon. They were down the line, and that's why I have my esteemed colleagues like you, so you can tell us what happened. I saw Trev drop a couple dimes.
oh, did he?
No, did he? Well, nice try, did he?
Nice try, did he?
That's AI. That's what I said when I saw those highlights. Welcome to the live show. For those of y'all who are here, you have made it. You have passed the test. The 2 p.m. show, that was just some bullshit. This is where the real show begins, where we move to 3:45. Like, this show is going to be on fire. This show is going to be so much better. And for the people that were like, yeah, you know what, I don't think I can hang around for that 3:45 show. Well, you're missing out because we've got some surprises for you today. There's a dog in the building. I was thinking about putting him on the show. That's the surprise I'm talking about.
Which is something we should do moving forward.
I was thinking dog of the day every Monday. We bring in a dog and put the dog on the podcast.
Willie!
Yeah, he'll figure it out. Tanner, go get Willie.
What if one Monday? How about what if one Monday
What?
we really surprise a guest if we do this
Yeah?
and we get Snoop Dogg?
Oh, that'd be incredible. I think I could do that too. That's my buddy.
The dog.
The
dog.
Welcome to the reaction show. I'm here with my esteemed colleagues, as mentioned, Dr. Fax,
You're
Nolan, Cowboy Reed went to go get the dog. Tanner's behind the machines. Charlie's behind the machines. So, welcome to the biggest
I'm here
sausage
too,
fest
guys, in the computer.
in sports media. Just a bunch of dudes in here. And one more dude. Come here, Willie.
One more dude for you.
Dog of the day. Willie, get in the
Dog
picture,
of the
big
day.
dog. Hey,
Willie.
bring him
Come here,
over
bud.
here and show him to the crowd.
Come here, bud.
Dog of the day, Willie.
Willie.
Willie. Look at Willie. He's such a good boy.
He likes footballs.
He likes footballs. He likes the James River. Look at him. Yeah. That a baby, Willie. Does your other favorite show have a dog of the day on Monday? I don't think they do. Willie's going to hang out until somebody makes him
Until he gets
leave.
distracted.
Pops this football.
But yeah, welcome to the show. That was a wild day. We saw some heavyweight matchups. We saw some comebacks. Willie's still getting after the football. We love it, Willie.
We saw history.
Who made history?
Trevor Lawrence made history.
Did he?
6 touchdowns, 51 yards rushing
Incredible.
as a QB, 5 passing, 1 running.
That's incredible.
It's amazing.
It was an incredible day for Trevor Lawrence, and I can't wait for you to tell us about it
Man,
in the section of the show that features wins over the Jets. No, I mean, it was a great win. Trevor Lawrence looks fantastic right now. He does. But it's in the flyovers for a reason. No offense to last week we put him first up. It's not going to happen 2 weeks in a row. And that's on the schedule makers facts.
Yeah, I know. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hold on 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Duval!
Willie's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
He's going to blast one of these cameras.
Yeah. I have a dog named Willie as well, but my dog eats his own shit and barks at the door every Sunday afternoon at about 4:05 p.m. through the first half of the late slate there. Willie, you're a good boy, man. A little emotional support on a Monday afternoon. Okay, so we're going to start with a little high school football action because it's that time of year. It is high school playoffs, state championships going on across the country. Depending on what state you live in, you might be able to catch one. I just love the wacky endings of these games because it's the biggest stage, but it's still high school football, which, of course, is the only amateur football still being played. Let's pull up
We'll do the Florida State Championship. This is the
Looks like the Rams versus another team. But they this is one of the Hail Marys.
Oh, yeah, I love a good Hail Mary. This is the most unique Hail Mary I've ever seen. Nice thing about this is we can actually show you, unlike NFL footage, unless it's been pulled from the internet. No? Is it working?
No, it's going to load.
Oh, we must be struggling with the internet here today or something like that.
All right, hold on.
Never mind. We're not going to show you any high school football. Fuck me, right?
Damn.
Yeah, damn. That's crazy. Maybe show the other one.
All right, let's try the other one.
Try the other one. Try door number 2.
All right, so this one is the Louisiana State Championship.
Okay, Louisiana State Championship. Maybe you got too many tabs open.
It's possible.
You know, X and XX does eat up a lot of...
Oh, we had it.
What? All right, so this is Shaw and St. Charles in New Orleans, and that's not going to play either. But I'm going to summarize both things. The first one was a Hail Mary where one of the teams threw it as far as they could, and predictably it was short of the goal line, and it was like pissing rain. I mean, it was raining hard out there down in Florida, and the guy caught the ball like 4 yards before the goal line. He's getting tackled by 5-6 future state champions, or so they think, and somebody runs up behind him, and he just hands the guy the ball, and he runs in unabated, touchdown. They win the state championship. Talk about crushing. Doesn't get much worse than that, except if you are one of...
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
No.
I would say let's just abandon the multimedia. You know? We did have less time to get this thing loaded up. But so what happened in the other state championship game down in New Orleans, and this is kind of wild, there was one team kneeling down on it basically at this point. And dude takes his helmet off. And many of you have probably seen this. He's high-fiving people like he's walking up and down the end zone, like the front row of the end zone, and he's high-fiving all these fans and shit with his helmet off. And so they flag him. I think I have this right. Mm-hmm. And because of the flag, they actually have to punt the football. And it's a terrible punt. It goes out of bounds. Did it not? I don't know. It's in the video somewhere. But you end up with a kick to win. A high school kicker kicking the ball in the Superdome to win the damn state championship. It was just a wacky highlight. Hollow Man, that guy that walked off the field. I know there's some people that say... Brutal. I know there's some people that say, hey, you don't make that call, but you also don't walk off the field and high-five everybody in the stands before the game's over.
You got to keep the lid on.
You got to keep the lid on. When you watch pro football, they kind of call it up there. Probably going to call it at the high school level.
In high school, I don't know if you've seen it. This is funny. If you follow Lil Duval, a Jacksonville high school, they beat Teddy Bridgewater's old school from North Miami in the state champion. Yeah. And it was just funny following Little Duval, like talking trash with other fans and people. And they're like making like rap battles, like songs to the championship, like towards like the losers. And it's just a funny.
That's really got a sting.
It's a funny thing going back.
Somebody makes a rap battle.
Yeah.
Over you.
But the coaches, supposedly, like the coaches, they made like a rap song first.
Oh, that's great.
And so it was like
that's great.
They were just so sure they were going to win,
and
they didn't win, and so now.
So the coaches are dissing the other coaches.
Other coaches and the team.
Oh man, that's Florida, huh?
Florida,
man. And then the other one is I have an America's team for you. The America's team is Villanova football. Villanova football, which of course is we're not like a Homer Philly pod or anything, but it is fun to see Villanova in the playoffs donning the dog mask. Now I don't know if we're gonna have multimedia on this thing, but here's a still shot. Should work. This is Nova rocking the dog mask. They are bringing the dog masks out. I guess they're underdogs.
Hell yeah. They're underdogs. The Cats are the 12 seed. They've been on a hell of a run in the national playoffs. They were down in Stephenville, Texas at Tarleton State this weekend. They beat the Texans. This is defensive coordinator Ross Pennypacker walking off the field. My sources here tell me if this picture had audio, The dogs were barking.
They were barking.
All the guys were getting.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so they
A lot
had
of dogs on the pod today.
yeah. So the Cats, big win for the Cats, and they have the national semis on Saturday. Home, Villanova, Illinois State.
Look at them.
7:30 p.m.
Look at them. That's unreal.
Awesome.
That's unreal. And they're the same masks, huh? Pretty much.
Yep.
Probably the same vendor on Amazon.
Probably the same.
Not seeing any white poodles. They must have been a little better prepared than I was.
Salukis or whatever the fuck you wore. That's the stuff of nightmares. Whatever you wore.
Yeah, that's a creepy one for sure.
That was creepy. The Cats. Look out for the Cats, man. Look out for the Cats.
Catch them Saturday night, ESPN2.
The Undercats.
Illinois State. Yep.
Would you rather be an undercat or an overdog, Reed?
Overdog all day. Me and Bo Nix hanging out in the Overdog lounge.
Man, I could not believe it when he dropped that line, dude. He had all you Broncos fans being like, yeah, that's cool as fuck. That sounds cool. what
Cool as shit.
Cool as shit. Okay, Sunday Night Football. But first, we've got our best flight and worst flights. We're going to start the mentions right now as we started last week. We'll go around the room real quick. Bo, who's your best flight?
You know what? I'm going to say best flight for the Chargers. Get a big AFC division win, but also, kind of knock the Chiefs off of that pedestal in the AFC and go home, and you're in a good spot. So best flight, Chargers. Not too long of a flight either from Arrowhead. It's a good one.
Facts. What you got, bro?
Best flight. My man 9 on his way home from Dallas, watching himself gritty into the end zone, looking sweet for a touchdown after a week of just slanderous stuff talked about him online. Has to feel good. Taking that flight home, just watching highlights of scoring touchdowns.
J.J. McCarthy on doing the gritty dance as he crossed the goal line. I did it in practice, and I was told not to do it. So just me being who I am, it's like, oh, okay, now I'm more excited to do it. Kevin O'Connell on not liking the celebration dance. The finish I would not classify as special. It's entertaining, but I would have preferred him to show that 40 time like he likes to talk about.
Oh, I like that little challenge there.
Yeah, I mean, my son's going to be like college age soon in the near future, and whatever fucked up dance people are doing at that point, my kid's going to be doing it, and I just don't love seeing it. I just don't love seeing it. I think you leave that to the guys with rhythm and who are actually cool as fuck and let the receivers do it. But J.J. McCarthy, that was a lot better. That was a great performance. I'll go best flight. I was going to go Bills because short flight, the whole thing, big win. But I think it is Phillip Rivers. I'm giving a best flight to a loser, not the man, the team. They lost. I don't usually give best flight out to teams that lose. But when you contextualize what Phillip Rivers did yesterday and you listen to him talk about why he came back, there is a time when you retire and you realize, like, everything's behind you football-wise. And, he's obviously got a big family. There's a lot of important stuff going on in his life. But there's nothing that ever compares to being on an NFL field. Like, it's just there's no going back. And when it's over, it really hits home. And I'm pretty sure for 4 years now he's been watching, like, with a daydream in the back of his mind, like, maybe I could still do it, because we all do, as unrealistic as it might be. And he did do it. He went out and he made some throws. Yeah, he fell on his ass and looked old as fuck and had to get up and scramble for like 3.5 yards. But he also threw like a back shoulder fade when it counted late in the game, set him up for what would be a game-winning field goal. Hit some throws, set the protection, changed the plays, man, and ultimately proved to the people that he said he was trying to prove it to, that you should never be afraid. You should go out and try anyways. And that's what he did. And he lost, but he had a nice long flight. I'm pretty sure with a drink in his hand on the way home. I know that's an NFL rule, but you break it for a 44-year-old grandfather. Get that man a drink, sit him in first class. Great flight for Phillip Rivers. You did what you said you'd do. You went out and competed like you always did.
You think he drinks?
Yeah, I would think he drinks a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
He don't cuss.
He cusses. That's a total bullshit. That's like a Santa Claus thing. He cusses.
Oh.
I heard him cuss.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Although my son did just recently ask last week if he was like, you can tell me. Santa Claus.
How'd that go?
He asked Meg, and Meg was like, and then he goes, actually, don't tell me.
So he knows. Once you
Don't
get to
tell me.
that point, you know, like you
Yeah.
have to know. You know, he just wants to hear it from your.
He
from
knows,
you
but then he
guys.
didn't want to hear it. It was almost like he needed the information, but didn't want to hear it. Okay, so we've got best flight. Now we've got worst flight. I think the worst flight, I'll start this one, it's Green Bay. Felt like they didn't just lose a game. It felt like their season ended.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll talk more about the ways they can get out of this jam or whether or not we think they can. But, like, the gravity of those two injuries, not just the one, but the two, and certainly Micah Parsons' injury makes you feel like a different team. It does, from a football standpoint, but also from a morale standpoint. Like this was a game in the first half where they look like a Super Bowl team. They look like a team that was going to represent the NFC. And then 60 minutes later, whatever it was, they're boarding the bus, and I'm pretty sure there wasn't a lot of talking on the way to the airport, which is also an airport that's like 45 fucking minutes away from that stadium. It's a poorly laid out city.
Keith Schmidt in the chat, going back to Phillip Rivers, said the Colts lost 18-16, but the real feel was 16-15.
Mm-hmm. That was the real feel, dude. I'm I'm picking up what you're putting down there, bro. All right, what do y'all got?
I got a worst flight. Worst flight is Jeffrey Simmons for the Tennessee Titans flying back from California, and only to get home and find out that his home was burglarized while the Titans were in California. So I'm sure he was probably fielding calls on that flight, or he probably has some sort of security system that was popping off, knew that he was going back to that, and then the Titans lost in San Francisco as well. So that adds, a little insult to injury. A little bright side for my boy Jeffrey Simmons, who I think is a fucking dog. He's been playing really well. He did have a really sick touchdown though, which was cool to see. But tough flight going home to a house that's been robbed while you're on the road.
That is a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's also a tough one to be the guys that robbed Jeffrey Simmons' house. Like, that's not a guy that
Those people are probably finding out on the Greenlight podcast.
like you couldn't go to
like,
DK's apartment or something like that.
Right.
I don't think those guys care.
No, I don't think they care either.
I'd be sleeping with one eye open.
But I
'cause
sure
that's a big
I
man.
sure hope they get what's coming to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think you can say. All right,
Nate, worst flight?
I'm not gonna lie, my worst flight was same thing, Green Bay. I just feel like just seeing Micah go down like that, you could just feel the air go out of an organization, and whether that's the end of the Super Bowl running for them or not, it's just tough seeing Micah. Like, just the type of year he was having, what he went through in the offseason, like just sitting out and then getting traded and just being the player we all like knew he could be, and just kind of being better than what people were trying to like give him credit for. And I was kind of seeing it front hand, him playing every position up front and being effective everywhere. It was just one of those things. You see the stat, they showed a stat like just his effectiveness when he's on the field versus off the field, and just kind of having to now think about filling that void. And it's going to be, can't get one person, it's going to have to be by committee. And just thinking that Green Bay has to do that, that's probably a pretty bad flight as an organization, trying to think about all of that in just one flight home.
it's a bad deal.
And get ready for
It's a
for
bad
next
deal.
week
Yeah.
in this playoff run. So
Speaking of bad deals, oh shoot, yeah, and this point's going to be made in the Green Bay section, but the Packers' leaders in pass rush wins this season. Micah Parsons got 66 of them, and then 67 go to a combination of Brooks, Gary, Enigbare, Wyatt, Van Ness.
yeah,
Those are the next 5 most pressure-getting players on that team. When you talk about seismic, and we will talk about this in a moment, but absolutely seismic. We're going to start with Sunday Night Football and then work our way through the day 1s through 4s, and then we'll get to the Flyers and the Bermuda Triangle as the show goes. But Sunday Night Football, I think it's about 2 things. It's about obviously the Cowboys' run being over, and for like little pockets of the season, they really are such a confounding team because they look like a team that if you were to give an at-large bid to a team to get in the playoffs based on who deserves it the most, like they're up there, right? Like they played they've played some teams really well this year, and they've also had some stinkers. And there was a moment after the trade where you said, hey, Quinnen Williams and the guys inside we have, Eberflus is getting one-on-ones for all the interior guys. Some of the guys outside are growing up. Clowney's playing better, but, if your corners are your corners, that doesn't change throughout the year. And then on top of it, they're sitting here and they're a sub-500 team. I mean, that's what it amounts to. And, all the hooting and hollering and the big moves and the hijacking of the biggest Monday morning stories, week after week, the Cowboys are just, it's more of the same. And that's a tough way to go against the team that looked totally lifeless at different points this season. And they're playing for the future is what the Vikings are playing for. And I think the future looks a little bit brighter coming out of this game, where J.J. McCarthy improved from last week, and honestly was able to build on that. There are still things I see where, and I turned to the guys last night after one of these incompletions that probably shouldn't have been, and he played really well, where I'm like, I see the work, the construction zone yellow tape, right? Like where KOC, when he talks about timing or, rhythm or, progression, it's all mental for J.J. McCarthy. He has some physical tools that he can make the plays. He can extend plays off schedule. He can move well enough to do that. We talked about his legs. He hit some deep balls. But for him, it's going to be like, is it one too many hitches? Is he throwing the ball when the receiver gets out of the break? That I think is the game within the game now for them as they go down the stretch of the season where they're going to make a decision as to what they're going to do in the offseason. And obviously, it's not over for J.J. McCarthy if he doesn't play well the last month of the season, but they will be thinking about who are my answers in free agency, who are my answers in a trade, because of JJ's resume to this point this year. But he has time to really give them the confidence that they need to go into the offseason and say, hey, we're pouring everything into this quarterback. And this was a good game, and a game that is a step in the right direction for him and for them.
Oh, you're on mute. You're mute.
Hit
You're
that.
Mute. Hit the
Hey,
block.
guys.
There you go.
Unmuted. I'm hoping in the final stretch for the Vikes, him and Jay Jeff can get on the same page, because it's been, so frustrating watching them just kind of fail to connect. I think Vikings fans are based on my group chats that I'm in with some of my buddies who are Vikings fans, are pretty fed up with that. It's like, part of it, I wonder if it's kind of all the mechanics stuff that everyone has talked about with JJ McCarthy. It seems like at times, like, his ball has so much zip on it. But just to call a spade, like, Justin Jefferson is an elite wide receiver. He's got a ton of drops. So, like, they just need to get on the same page, man. And that's something I would love to see down the stretch here for them offensively.
He did drop one last night that kind of went right through his hands in the end zone. I think JJ can do a better job of kind of A, layering throws, and B, taking speed off some of these balls. Now, he threw a couple really nice touch passes outside the numbers last night that you're like, okay, that's what you want to see. It's going to take time. It is absolutely going to take time for him to get up to speed. I'm not going to write him off or anything like that. Let's give him some time at the end of the season here. So, what you got?
Naylor, when he went down that first touchdown, his teammate doing the Fortnite, trying to revive him.
It's lost on me, but I know,
it's part of
somebody explained it.
Yeah, it's just so funny, just like him really being hurt.
Yeah.
And your teammate, like, excited for your touchdown, think you're doing like some sort of celebration.
That's just crazy.
But I'm glad he was okay.
That was one of the craziest celebrations I saw all day. The other one was the guy from the Browns trying to take Myles Garrett's sack.
Bro, like, as soon as I seen that, I was just
Shelby?
Like,
yeah.
I was like, dude,
he's been in the league a long time. He knows how this works.
Yeah. But it's like, I feel like it's a natural instinct as a D lineman, right? If you get there close, you got to know what's going on.
You got to know what's going on.
Read the room.
Oh, man.
You got to read the room.
Man, this is a 3-car accident. Let me look over here. Who's the other guy in the party with me? Oh, it's Myles Garrett. Let me put this hand down. So I mean,
yeah, he's a certified hoe for that.
no, you can't say that. You can't call-
I'm just joking. I played with Shelby at Wisconsin. He's
Shelby's the
hilarious,
man.
Oh,
man.
okay.
And he's the one who was saying all that stuff about Juwan Jennings. So it just seemed like a good opportunity.
No,
to
that's
throw
good.
that
That's a good
line back.
joke. It went right over my head.
That went way over my head too.
I was
but
like,
that
we
is a
can't
good
just
joke.
be on here calling players hoes.
No, I love Shelby. He's hilarious, dude.
But that was funny. It was like there's always that D-line thing where it's like when you get a sack, you always watch people run away with their hand in the air. Like they want to distance themselves. The key is you want to get your hand in the air and you want to distance yourself.
They know the spotters up there with the binoculars, like, oh yeah,
gotta make
93
it
with the
hard for
sack.
them. Yeah,
because
you
then
gotta
it's going to
Tell
get
the
awkward.
statistician.
Because if you get a lazy statistician, I mean, they're like, hey, that's his.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. We're going to talk about that game in a little bit, but
Look, you're getting triggered. You're thinking about all the sacks you lost.
No, honestly, I'm thinking about like the code. The code is, like it is so hard to navigate by the way, did they give full sack to Miles on that one?
I don't know.
I think it was a half.
So
double check.
so I think it was a half sack.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the saving
Yeah.
grace. It truly was.
Mm-hmm.
But like imagine if Miles was like, "Hey bro, I'm turning that in."
Turning it in.
Like,
Dude, I got hit with that by Vinny when I was a rookie, and I was so pissed about it. He turned one in that I had half a sack on, and it took it away from me. I'm still butthurt about it.
dude,
If it was the last game and it was for the record, I'd be like, hey, turn it in.
Well,
But-
yeah, and then people would be like, "Oh, it's just like Brett Favre. Shelby Harris had half of that thing. It's an asterisk or 17 games." So I'm glad that's not the one that breaks the record. But I'll never forget, like 2018. Me and Mike kind of shared a sack, but like honestly, I never let go. It's like if you get there first and you don't let go. I remember one time hanging on Tavares Jackson's ankle for like 6 seconds, just holding him up, trying to get the sack, and they blew it dead. It's like there was another time in 18 where me and Michael Bennett, as I mentioned, shared a sack-ish, and I remember being in the locker room, like doing something, whether it's brushing my teeth in the between meetings or something, and I heard Mike walk in with his high-ass voice, and he was talking to Lodi and the guys, and he was like, "Be honest. You think this is sack? You think this is shared? Should I turn this one in?" And I heard like Lodi being like, "You got to go talk to Chris," like that, like. And I'm listening to it play out, and I'm being a little bitch about it. I'm like hiding behind the door because that's my homeboy, and like I'm gonna talk to him about it anyway. The other one was, by the way, I kept that sack. The other one was James Laurinaitis. Me and James Laurinaitis. I fucking dominated. It was like maybe Vernon Davis. I like forklifted his arm and like threw him out of the way. I earned the damn sack. But James came in and tried to knock me off with his big ass head. And, we end up sharing the sack-ish. And then he's going on Monday to be like, "Hey, I'm going to turn this in." And I said, "The fuck you're not, dude." I said, "First off, that's not how you get paid. This is how I feed my family." At this point, I don't have any kids, but I had to really appeal to his, And I said, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you like a lot of money if you don't turn this in." So I legitimately wrote him a check so that he wouldn't turn it in. And I ended up with, I think 8.5 that year. And I think it helped me get my incentive by a half sack. So it's
a good investment, Chris.
It's called investing.
Yeah.
Some of you might not be familiar with it, but it's called investing. So anyways, there's a lot of sack talk, as somebody just said in the chat. We don't have to talk long about that. Those two eliminated teams, basically. The only way the Dallas Cowboys are not eliminated is if the Eagles lose out, which I don't see happening.
Ooh.
I just don't. I don't. You think they are?
No, I don't. But if that did happen, ooh.
You just want to be on record going, "Ooh," so you can call back to it. Remember I said, "Ooh."
No. I just like I think it flashed through my head like in that scenario. If they did,
Oh,
just like
it'd be awful.
like
Dude, they would burn the city down, dude. They would burn the city down.
That's just what I'm thinking. Like if that
They would burn the city down.
especially for Cowboys to get in, like
Yes.
it's just like I'm like
I don't think it's happening. Do
No,
I?
yeah.
Do I think the
The
Eagles are
Commanders
like some
twice.
wagon
They
because
can't
they
lose
beat
to
the?
Commanders twice.
No,
They-
the
they
Eagles
can't
are not a
make
wagon because they beat the Raiders. They beat the brakes off the Raiders. We'll talk about that in a second. They're still building. They're still working their way out of this hole of poor play that we've seen over the last month of the season. But I thought yesterday was good. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's start with the Bills and the Pats. The 1 p.m. the big game. Man, I thought I was going to be wearing it because I said the Bills would win this game, and all of a sudden they're down 21-0. And I think part of it is in a game like this, and I always talk about on the road, there are a lot of instances where games get away from teams, and you'll say, oh, obviously the Pats are much better. At half, you're like, well, the Pats are much better. Or, the Bills' offense didn't perform. Well, the first play of the game, Brandon Cooks plays volleyball with a 35-yard explosive that probably changes the whole script of that game. And, the reason I wasn't panicked watching it for the Bills was because that play was followed by a play where Josh just missed an open receiver for another explosive. And there were instances like that early in the game where it was just like they could not get out of their own way. The opportunities were there. And of course, this coming in, that you have the run game in your back pocket. And if I have any regret, if I'm the Bills about the beginning of the game, is like, I know you're trying to take control of this game, right? But you can do it with the run game. And I hindsight's 2020, probably Brandon Cooks, who's a NFL veteran receiver, is going to catch that ball 9 out of 10 times. So, all that having been said, they find themselves down 21-0. The offense really doesn't get an opportunity to go and kind of get into the flow of the game. I thought, when they scored before the half and they flashed that statistic up about how the Pats talk about holy foreshadowing. And I said that. I texted Charlie. I said, I'm not worried about it because of that stat they just put up. And I almost fixed myself to bet the Pats first half and bet the Bills second half, because that's something that's not a secret in the NFL, is that the Bills have become a second half team, the Pats more of a first half team. And they got the score to go 21-7. The defense played so poorly, they left too much time for Drake Maye. It's 24-17. But the way they came out of the half was just so big. And sometimes I know we talk X's and O's on this show, but y'all know it, haven't been in locker rooms. I feel like if I were in that Bills locker room and somebody gave a fuck what I had to say, I'd have said, hey, did you guys forget who the fuck we are? Like, we have owned this division. I don't care if they win it. They got to go through us. We were in line, man. All this, like, whose turn is it? Mahomes isn't in the playoffs. We've been waiting in fucking line for 5-6 years here. We were first in line. You don't get to just jump us, all right? And let's come out of the half and act like we're the better team, because when we lost this team, we the Bills, I'm being God knows whoever delivers the halftime speeches. I don't really know who that is in Buffalo, but when they played them the first time, I think that was the beginning of the whole thing for the Pats. Like, this is a very young team. They're a very good team, but they're going to have to earn it. They're going to have to prove it. This is December in the NFL. Another thing is, I think if there's a cold weather game, if there's a snow game, if there's a rain game in December, and I had to pick, I think Josh is the best quarterback on the planet, but if I had to pick somebody to play in that game, it's Josh Allen. You talk about handling the football in those conditions. I did not think Drake played his best game. That's okay. He's been great all year long. And they were on schedule for much of the game, but once the Bills started creating negatives and pressed him, where he had to make throws, he came up a little short. And there were those pockets of the Tampa game where it was raining cats and dogs and his accuracy wasn't on point. So I think still to be proven, can he win those games in December in the big spots with the weather being the way it is in the AFC. So valuable learning experience for the Pats. Obviously there's some calls that we're going to talk about, but I think it comes down to the Bills are a team that even when they're down, kind of like a basketball team in the NBA, can make up ground fast, and they can do it without selling the farm to throw the football. Because even when they throw the football, they can run the football. It sounds stupid as fuck, but Josh Allen extends plays. He can be your run game, and they have a dominant running game. And I think with Spillane out in this game, that made a huge difference. Mm-hmm. And with Milton Williams out in this game, that made a huge difference. They could get pressure on Josh. And in the first game, it felt like he was under siege a little bit, and the turnovers happened. So I want to say this to Bills fans.
Why do you have his pads on? Splaying. I feel like that hurts.
What, splaying?
Just being on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't know.
With your pads on.
I don't know. But the bottom line is, like, Bills fans know this. The whole team's hurt, so we're not giving excuses out for the Pats. It just contextualizes the game. It was like when you come into the game and Milton Williams, who, was a big signing for them in the offseason, if you have any doubts about was he worth the contract, they look totally different without him on the field in the run game and in the pass phase. And so I just think the Bills, and if I saw this matchup again with Milton in the game, with Spillane in the game, I'd pick the Bills because I'm of the belief that you have to prove it in the NFL. Like, you have to prove it as a team. And the Pats are going to have a lot to prove in the playoffs. They're fucking 10-3 or whatever they are. They're a damn good football team. They deserve every bit of respect that they've got. 11. Here I am disrespecting them. They get in the playoffs, though. They're going to play – every team they're going to play is they can lose that game. And that's the truth about everybody in the AFC. And so I thought this was a hell of a football game. But it's kind of crazy coming out of the game where you're like, the Bills just ate up a 21-point deficit, and nobody's shocked. Nobody's shocked. Simmons and Sal asked on their pod if Josh is the best cold weather quarterback ever. I don't know if that's something that, I have the data points to make but of this era, there's not a lot of guys I want with the ball in December in inclement weather more than him. He did it last week in the snow. He's done it in San Francisco as a fucking blizzard. You've got the Favres, the Bradys, and now you've got your Josh Allens of the world, and the Mahomes. Mahomes is one.
I was just gonna say
Mahomes is one. Let's not do that thing.
Yeah.
But I always maintain, if you're talking about right now, the last 3 years of football, I do think he's the best quarterback on the planet. I just do. So you go into the AFC playoffs, you feel like you can beat anybody if you're the Bills. You just proved that. The Denver matchup, I don't know. We'll see. I think the Broncos can give them a lot of trouble. They can guard guys up outside, strap up. But this was a big win for them.
Bills.
Chris, I got to
go ahead.
After you, Cowboy.
No. If I interrupt you, I might make you do an ad read.
So my question is this, a lot's been made about how easy the Patriots schedule is. Do you think that this is one of those games where if, the Patriots had been through a little more adversity, earlier in the season, and come out on top, they win this game? I was kind of thinking about that a little bit. You know how it's nice when you're on a team that has just eked out these wins in tough slots. This to me felt like one of those. It's if they had that kind of that resume a little bit more, where they'd been, grinded through and got a dub, I feel like that would really help them. And I guess that's my concern about the Patriots headed into the playoffs a little bit.
And to piggyback,
there's anything to that?
Well, I think to piggyback, I feel like as much as they haven't had this, for Vrabel, the way you kind of spin it with your team, it's probably the perfect time for you to have this type of loss so you can kind of build off of it and kind of preach to the team, hey, if we're stepping on a team's neck, we have to finish them off. We can't expect to win in the playoffs and expect teams just to lay down, because we're up 2 or 3 touchdowns. It's not going to be easy like that, especially right now.
And it's hard because, I think Henderson, and they obviously have, multiple backs, but Henderson, it's a couple of home runs,
Yeah.
And it's, if you want to grind a team out, you got to be able to really move the ball. And they do such a good job of moving the ball on first, second down. I just thought that, in the second half, the gravity of the situation flipped on them fast.
Yeah.
And the pressure, this team hadn't been down in the fourth quarter since Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at their schedule, whether you like this or not, I know this has been a really big topic of discussion, but they have not, you start looking back at all right, what are your big signature wins that you're hanging your hat on? I think they're a good football team. I love Raves, and I think Drake Maye is legit. He's one of those guys. But you look at the Tampa win. That was the last one that I think of that I'm like, oh, that was a big win where they go on the road and they beat a good football team who's really fighting for a playoff spot or a division. The Tampa win just doesn't look as shiny. You know, and neither does the Buffalo win, because as good as Buffalo is, they're so up and down, you know, and that's something that's going to follow them into the playoffs, because they're going to play Baltimore, who I don't think is a great football team. I think they should beat Baltimore. They're going to play New York, and they're going to play Miami. And then they're going to go into the playoffs, and they're all big games. And so, you know, just a good learning experience for these guys, being in as many of these games as possible. I will say this, and I think Sean McDermott, probably the reason he didn't panic before the half or at the half, or why this team didn't, is like, I can tell you, as bad as the defense was, and they're down Benford, they're down some guys. Obviously, there's the Ed Oliver thing that looms large every week. You probably, and I know you guys could hear this in your head too, being defensive players, like, guys, if we just tackle the quarterback when he runs, if we just knock down the explosives, you know, when the coordinator's like, if we can just do this. And a lot of times they're selling you a line of bullshit, right? Like, you're just getting outplayed. But in this game, if they had just eliminated the QB scrambles, hey, there's a 3rd and 7 where they didn't think Butte caught the ball. They run up, and good on them. They get the deal off. That's football.
Yeah.
Okay. There's 3-4 things in the first half that if you're McDermott and Babich, you can point to those things and say, hey, I can sell you some fucking hope in the second half. Yeah. And they came out and they played better. And Drake helped them by throwing them the ball a little bit. So this is just one of those games, man. And I didn't love, like, anytime a defender has his back turned and doesn't look back and makes contact first, a lot of times they're going to call that. I mean, we don't love the back shoulder automatic PIs, but it is there. It's at everybody's disposal in the NFL, and that call was kind of 50-50 to me, and it extended a drive. And I think it was a drive that ended with Josh Allen. This is the backbreaker. I brought this up last night in the live show. Y'all know this in the red zone. You can get fucking killed on Monday over rush lanes. And in this game where a field goal would have gone a long way to just give the Pats a little bit of confidence that they can stop this guy. 3rd and 15 after he runs the ball in the red zone and it comes back because of a hold. 3rd and goal from the 15. And you get both left side rushers taking inside moves with no wrapper. And, you know, Josh climbs the pocket, piss missile, 25-yard piss missile. You know, and that's those things are the difference in the game. You know, and so they all come back to the special player that takes snaps under center for the Bills, man. Like, he's a one-man band out there. He really is, you know.
I got a question for the group on the heels of this game as we kind of telescope out to January. This might be a dumb question.
There are none.
It might not be the right question. We could change the question. But in an AFC playoff race that feels like it kind of skews defense, like you got Texans, Broncos, Jags, Chargers, all with these top 10 type defenses, do you think it's beneficial or detrimental for the Bills that the strength of their team is its offense as they kind of fit into the landscape of the AFC race?
It's a puzzle, man. You know, like, hey, you know, every team's so unique, right, this year.
Yeah. Like,
you know, it's not a traditional playoff. So would you rather be Denver with, you know, the best thing smoking defensively and an offensive coordinator, play caller, head coach who's a proven fucking winner in this league? Or do you want the circus freak and a bunch of like role players around him? I'm partial to the circus freak. I just am. And part of it is because when I've seen him play in the playoffs, there's only one guy that really's ever gotten the best of him.
Right.
All these other guys, all your favorite quarterbacks, whether it's Lamar, whether it's somebody else, he's beating them. You know, and the one guy who's been the boogeyman is at home. So, you know, in this playoff, I do feel like a little crack in the door opened up for them. And as imperfect as this team is and as inconsistent as this team is, their highs are so fucking high. You know, I look at the Eagles and I get upset with the inconsistency offensively, but their highs aren't as high. You know, and so different puzzle piece. They got a great defense. They have a fumbling offense that's up and down. The Bills can score 40 points in the blink of an eye. It
any
felt like that.
Any conditions, any situation.
Yeah, dude. Now, the one caveat is it's all matchup dependent. If the Broncos play them, I worry about that matchup. Right. If the Texans play them, I worry about that matchup because they have guys outside that can strap up and truly make it a game where Josh has to be magic. And to sustain that for a month is tough. So,
would he be the most trustworthy? I mean, you can call him a unit, but the most trustworthy player or position in the playoffs?
Josh?
Mm-hmm.
No, the most trustworthy position in the playoffs is the corner in Denver.
Yeah, it is.
The corner in Denver, he is unbelievable. And I can't wait to talk about that game because that had some Super Bowl vibes to it. But just, yeah, as far as the AFC is concerned, it is every team has – you go, Denver, oh, we know we can win it. We know we can play in the Super Bowl, right? Like, we've proven it. You know, the record says it, and our quarterback just played his best game as a pro. Texans, oh, we can play in the Super Bowl. There's nobody we can't beat.
Mm-hmm.
Our defense can muddy anything up. We did it in Houston, and damn near we should have beat the fucking Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
But we're playing with our food.
Mm-hmm.
You go down the list. Name a team in the AFC. The Pats. Well, we're fucking 11-3. Why can't we win it?
Mm-hmm.
Jags. Obviously, they can win it.
It was already foretold.
I don't think the Steelers can win it. I'll
Chargers?
just say that. I don't think the Ravens can win it. We'll talk right now about the Chargers. And I don't mean to shortchange the Ravens. I'm calling it how I see it. I would be shocked if they won a Super Bowl this year. And I think most of you would be too.
Yep.
All right, so talking about Chargers-Chiefs, the Chiefs are finally dead. Do you have a eulogy prepared?
For the Chiefs?
Yeah. Figure you want to bury them.
No.
I think the
think I wanna
Chargers
get
social
them-
media team did a pretty good job giving
they
them a
did.
eulogy. Did you see that? Did you
what they
see that
say.
clip
Yeah.
they put out?
We just
It
got to
was so
remix
good,
it.
man.
We just got to remix it and put, instead of going, we got to get Cancun out of there. And it's just to Mykonos now.
Mykonos.
Guys are too rich for Cancun now.
All right, so I'll tell you what happened in this game. There's a really cool shot of Harbaugh after the game limping out to midfield to shake Andy Reid's hand because he's got the most fucked up back. He's kind of a microcosm of his football team because they find a way to win this game, which was a fist fight, duct taped together, dude. This team has been duct taped together, which is another reason I think the quarterback deserves a lot of credit, and I think the coaches deserve a lot of credit. And I would go as far as saying, if it weren't for Kyle Shanahan just like boring winning every week with half the team out there, I think Harbaugh would have a chance at Coach of the Year. This team.
Hey,
could win
Chris.
12. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, I was thinking about what you just said about how Harbaugh's limping out to like after the game and how busted up he looked at times. There's a book. It's like the picture of Dorian Gray where
A book.
This is a whole-
You lost me.
I feel like Harbaugh is like a microcosm for how his team, right? He's like a representation of how banged up his team is. If they come out healthy, like he's great, he's happy, but as soon as they get like banged up, it like
Who's
physically
Dorian
manifests
Gray?
itself on his body.
How am I supposed to know who the fuck Dorian
This is
Gray
a tough literary reference for this crew,
Yeah,
but it's
so
like
I'm doing a very
basically-
everyman monologue on the way in the game, and you're like, yeah, fucking in 11th grade English, I read this book.
Chat, do you know what the picture of Dorian Gray is? We'll see if the chat knows.
like all the wear and tear that the Chargers team accumulates, it just physically gets manifested on Harbaugh.
No,
you
I
know?
think he's just legitimately like crippled, dude. And watching him run out there to shake the guy's hand just felt like poetry to me, man. It was like, this is what their team's been all year, and they're 5-0 in the AFC West. Okay, 2 weeks in a row, you make a huge play on defense to win it. The Henley play on the wheel was fantastic. It's just, he's such a great player. I mean, he's such a great player. He's a fucking hell of a player. And just the way that they've been. Yeah, I talked about them last week after the Eagles game. No style points. We came with an attitude like, I don't care how we win it, we're going to win this game. And it was kind of the same thing. And when you look back at the way they beat him at the beginning of the season in kind of more of a track meet, 2 months later, 3 months later, the weather's changed. It's fucking freezing out. The style of football has changed. And they find a way to win a rock fight too. So kudos to the Chargers for just deciding, hey, we're going to win this football game however we can. They did it being more physical. I think Derwin James knifing through the right tackle's legs early in the game is just a microcosm of that. Like, I know it's not it's a penalty at this point in the NFL, but like back in my day, that was celebrated, right? You bowling pins, man. And the hits kept continuing all game long. Thule, Max setting really physical edges. Thule's got double-digit sacks at this point now. He's a hell of an underrated player. Somebody asked me today, why is nobody talking about him? Well, number one, the market they play in.
Hand on my Thule.
Number two, the number he wears. Number three, I just don't think people know much about him because he's a swing rusher and he rushes inside and out. I think having Perriman back adds an element to this defense that people don't make a big deal about enough. He's one of my favorite players in the league. And I thought they limited the big plays really well and plastered Leighton downs. You talk about playing the Chiefs, the way they can beat you is kind of lulling you to sleep and then hitting shots, right? They didn't fall asleep. 9% explosive play percentage on the day, and just a really good job for a team that plays a lot of zone match. Just plastering. We call it plastering late in the down, scramble drill. They are so good in those situations. And they made the plays in crunch time, So, listen, I thought even after the Henley deal, the offense didn't do anything special all day, but there were two spots I thought they did a great job. The first one is before the half, getting points. 13-3 ball game. You go and you get a touchdown in a game like that where passing is not going to be the way to go. They're able to pass the ball down the field, get the score 13-10 at that point, and then late when Henley had the interception, they're on the 1 yard line with 10 minutes to go in the game or something like that. I can't remember the exact time, but I think they ate 5 minutes off the clock and flipped the field. Now, it doesn't end in a score, but it's that type of possession where Harbaugh's – last week I talked about Herbert coming over the sideline with one fucking hand after a field goal they're lining up to kick, and Harbaugh goes, great fucking job. Everybody else is trying to look sexy. They don't care. It's that's a great possession for them. So
that was a 12-play, 55-yard, 7-minute, 21-second punt drive.
That's huge. Flips the whole field, dude. They're on the 1 yard line. Henley makes the play of the day, and it's almost for naught because they might get the ball right back. So I just wanted to make this point as we talk about the Chiefs and where they're going and where the Chargers are going. That drive before the half featured KLS, Trey Harris. You got Gadsden making plays all day, all season. Thule's double digits. What year is this for him?
Year 3.
Year 3. They got a lot of young players making plays for them. I think that drive alone encapsulates and this is the thing for the Chiefs. I know they draft well. I know they got a lot of homegrown talent. But right now, tell me a bunch of rookies that have made plays for the Chiefs this year. Tell me a bunch of guys that have stepped up in big spots that are young players for them. They're in a spot where they need to change the guard a little bit. And you look around the division, and the Broncos are off and running. They've passed you, right? The Chargers are set up really well for the future. This is that one team, and I don't know if they can win 2-3 games in the playoffs because of just how much they've been hurt. But if they were at full strength, you'd be talking about them like a Super Bowl contender. And so a lot of it has to do with the quarterback that they have, but I think the coach, the culture, and the job Jesse Minter's done on defense, man. This team, I know a lot of people are like, well, it's if ifs were a fifth or whatever, but if they had their 2 starting tackles, I kind of feel like a lot of people might be picking them as the dark horse to go.
Oh yeah.
Because they play complementary football, and they got Hampton back. They've gotten production out of Vidal. Joe Ortiz, who's been on this show, their GM from Baltimore, has done a great job. And you think about not just the draft picks, but also hey, we've got 2 offensive linemen this week who are healthy. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to patchwork this thing, man? And they've done a great job all year of just keeping their heads above water. But this was a consummate culture win where you storm the gates of the fucking castle and you finally vanquish the Chiefs. You got that monkey off your back, and you did it in a way that feels sustainable because you're not even where you want to be. You can be next year. They're going to be better, and the Chiefs are going to be sitting there with Mahomes rehabbing, and So maybe we got to talk about the Chiefs, man, and where they're going from here. Nate, where are they going, bro?
So in the perfect world, Mahomes, he's going to rehab with none other than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And somehow they come back at the same time, reunited.
You're selling me some. Golly, dude. You know what my notes say?
What?
Become a run-first team. Lean into, become a complimentary football
There's
team.
no
but you're
way.
telling me you want to reattach his leg and ship him up to Kansas City.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Because, I mean, you're going to need more weapons because even if Mahomes, when he comes back, I don't feel like he's going to right away be able to be scramble Mahomes and off-balance throws. So how do you counter that? Is you have to have speed. You got to have speed and guys open.
I'm going the other way.
Okay.
I think, and this is a bugaboo of Andy Reid's because we talked about this in the car ride over where Nolan's like, dude, even when I was a kid, because earlier I was like, hey, they need to run the ball. And Nolan's like, hey, well, that's just never something Reid does. Like, I grew up in Philly, and, like, even when I was 9, I knew he doesn't run the ball. And when I got to Philly, that was what they always talked about with Doug, bro. Like, they were like, well, he got a little Andy to him. So, like, that's his reputation. I understand. But I think they're at a crossroads, man. I really do think they need to reinvent. Great teams reinvent the way they play. If you're going to be great for a decade plus, the Patriots morphed into whoever they had to be to win. And it also, seeing this thing come to an end after 10 years, it kind of speaks to, like, how amazing it was to watch Brady and Belichick and those guys. Like, they were a different team, different offense year to year. The early Brady chapter was different than the late, which was different than the middle. They just evolved to whatever they had to do within a season. And I think Kansas City needs to be that team now. And this is regardless of how long it takes Mahomes to rehab. Obviously, you have the Kyler Murray example. What were the other examples I had you pull up?
Kyler Murray, Carson Wentz. 2017, he didn't come back till 2018.
That's in December.
Yeah. So
Just
Kyler
like
and
one.
Carson both were in December.
And I'll tell you this about Carson, and this is not revisionist history. I'm not trying to change his legacy or something like that, but like in 2018, I was there. He wasn't healthy when it was time to come back. And it wasn't just the knee, it was the back. And his stubborn ass tried to play hurt, which is why I always had a lot of love for him because he was a tough player. But and Mahomes knows this. His legacy is bigger than week 8 or 9 next week or next year. He's got to be right when he comes back. And I also think they have to lessen the burden they put on him to make magical plays. I liken it to Baltimore, where you watch them play, and while I think he's a better quarterback than Lamar, which is a high hurdle to clear because Lamar is a fucking hell of a player, they ask both those guys to do way too much. As much as I do not want to compare Andy Reid's offense and Todd Monken's offense, not even close, or the offensive prowess. A lot of it is, hey, make some magic happen late in downs, play some sandlot ball, and I don't want to see that as much. Like, I love to see it when it matters, but I want to see Kansas City be able to run the football with authority. I want to see them be able to run like some semblance of a true West Coast offense, not this souped up. It was so funny. I got to give credit to Will Blackman, my dog Will Blackman, who came in town this year for a game. We were riding in the car, and he was explaining to me the way he looks at the receivers in Kansas City. He looks at them as a bunch of kick returners, right? Like, and not as a slight. It's just an intentional build out that way. You're trying to get these kick returner types the ball in space, and I think the space plays still need to happen. The RPOs, the quick game, the screens. But to me, I want to see more of a run-first offense with play action off of it and timing in the pass game, which is a hard thing to sell to a guy, but maybe if he's coming off an ACL, it's easier to sell. Now, the hardest guy it's going to be to sell to is Andy Reid, who has a 3-decade habit of not fucking running the ball. So
then the thought of them not wanting to give up, a third-rounder for Breece Hall and a running back like that, I just feel like a running back that can potentially do all those things you're saying, play wide receiver and get the ball in open space that way and do kind of those things. It just worries me, a franchise that wasn't willing to do that at the trade deadline to automatically be like, okay, we need to switch now. Like, I mean, obviously things come up in the draft and after the season, but just thinking in the moment, it's like you guys really didn't pull the trigger on that to help your team like right now.
I just think the defense is also, there's a lot of holes in that defense. And so with the mini
they do have
capital,
they
know.
Yeah.
And it would be the same like this offseason because Breece Hall, like he's not signed.
Yeah,
so
you just spent draft capital, and you got one less thing to find a rusher or a corner, or the things that you need.
But to Fax's point, if they had pulled the trigger on Breece Hall this season, they might not have been in that position against the Chargers to, they might not have been in a
maybe, but also maybe
know.
not. And I think this is the hard truth that they understand about their team, which is like, we're good this year, but not like I think they knew deep down that even if they made the playoffs, the field has gotten better to the point that like, I don't know if they could have won the thing.
Yep.
What do you say, Bo?
I was going to say, I mean, you're talking about their defense a little bit. They're definitely aging as a team. And on defense, you see that with guys like Chris Jones, et cetera. But the good news is they have such a good coaching staff, man. Like, Spags is a fucking elite defensive coordinator. And you just, it does feel like on one sense, it's the end of an era. Obviously, this is a devastating injury for Mahomes. It fucking sucks. I just think it's kind of bad for for the football, for the NFL at large. But on the other hand, like, they still have a lot of key players and people in place, especially on their coaching staff, to retool, like what you said, and kind of come out with a new brand of Chiefs football. And that's what I'm excited to see. Like, it'd be cool to see them get a lot healthier on their offensive line, go to a more run-first team, and, still have success. So I think the thing for me is, like, I keep thinking about who's going to play quarterback for them for the first 8 weeks of the season or whatever it might end up being. That's exactly Mac Jones. I think Mariota, guys like Tyrod,
Mariota.
But I mean,
didn't he beat the Chiefs
kind of where I'm at.
In their last loss in the playoffs before the Mahomes era?
Yeah.
Remember when he threw the ball off somebody to himself?
Yeah, he ran it in. Yeah,
but I mean, you think about what Andy Reid made Alex Smith, and I'm not saying Alex Smith wasn't a damn good player, and he was a damn good player, but he had some of his best years there. Like, you can still get top end production out of a quarterback, and it's almost like them being handcuffed and not having a magician back there might be illuminating for 2 months next year, where it's like, it's kind of like. It's kind of like having this perk that when it goes away, you kind of got to retrain yourself to like run the offense. And I think it's going to be really interesting what they do. Do they kind of say, hey, we're kind of punting this season?
What about Malik Willis? Can I interest you in Malik Willis?
Dude, you can always interest me in Malik Willis, but I'm just worried that like he just gets lost in the shuffle there.
But if he has a good half season and then Mahomes comes back, you give him a couple, like Mahomes start to roll, could be a trade piece.
One thing he does really well is he can run that kind of gadget offense, screen game, that quarterback.
Yeah.
I bet you Andy Reid would be like, I got some packages for you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Andy Reid's getting older, man, and you kind of wonder, like, what do they want to do? One of the things I wonder is, like, Spags has not interviewed for a lot of coaching jobs. I mean, like, and he should be at the top of mind for everybody. He's a previous head coach. It didn't work out well. That was our fault. Sorry, Spags. You were coaching the Rams, but I think he still deserves another opportunity. And I don't know if it's something where internally they have like a plan where Andy's like, hey, I'm going to do this another 4 years. Stick around, like fly on the wall. What's going on in that building? What are they talking about as far as a 5-year plan? Because these teams do talk about things in that respect. So,
would be interesting to see. If Andy Reid were to move on, who would Mahomes want to pair with him? Who he'd want to, hey, I see what he's doing.
Spags
here.
Head coach, Bieniemy offensive coordinator, lifetime contract. Now I don't know that Bieniemy. I still think there's a void there. When you watch them attend to the details of that offense, they are not the same team, and sometimes you assume that because Andy Reid's thinking up the concepts or calling the plays that, like, how could it fall off because this one guy left the building? But, like, he was the guy, dude. He was the guy that was on their ass, had everybody puckered up to be on the right page. When you get kind of a friendly head coach, when he's not belly bumping Travis Kelce, you need the, I don't know, like the heavy, the bad guy, good cop, bad cop.
Those quarterbacks that were injured tore ACL. Kyler Murray tore it in Week 14 of 2022. He was activated from the PUP list on November 7th of 2023. So 11 months took him to come back. We mentioned Wentz, Week 14 of 2017. He returned Week 3 of 2018, which might have been too early. Carson Wentz, Joe Burrow, and Carson Palmer, Joe Burrow, and Donovan McNabb all tore their ACL in mid-November of 2015, 2020, and 2006, and then they all just made Week 1 of the following season.
Well, it ain't gonna be Gardner Minshew, because at the end of that game, and I don't know what, honestly, this is a pretty interesting thought exercise. You're Andy Reid. Are you going for the jugular and throwing at Derwin James because you don't trust your team to win in overtime? Do you not trust your kicker? It's second down at the 39, right? And, you need one completion, a draw. You're probably going to go to OT with this team.
2nd and 15,
The season's
39,
on the line. The season's on the line.
20 seconds left.
The season's on the line. So I understand if you're but you really think Minshew's going to come in the game cold and lead you down for a touchdown? You don't have a fucking choice. And so these are some of the things that I kind of question where I'm I know Andy Reid's the man, and you can't take anything away from him. But at some point, you kind of got to be and I'm not saying there needs to be a change or something like that. I'm not one of those people. But it's okay to question the head coach. It's okay to question how they've gotten here. This team should not miss the playoffs. They shouldn't miss the playoffs. Now, I know Patrick's ACL is, and that's brutal to see. But, this team should not be missing the playoffs, I don't think, as hard as their schedule was. But anyways, Reed and Veach, yeah, question everybody. Because the thing I said earlier was and I know they like to make guys earn it, Spags, secondary players, young players. They want to make guys earn it and that sort of thing. But I don't see them year in and year out making the football team better through the draft over the last couple of years. I don't see guys quickly helping this roster in big spots. And so, you look at the AFC West, there's a real power shift going on, dude.
Yeah, even Simmons, I don't know if you look at these last 2 draft classes and say there's a star,
Yeah, dude.
Obviously, Simmons was down in that game.
And somebody like Galati could really help you,
right?
But he can't be the headliner,
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, they need a Batman in that group. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, the rushers, man. Chris Jones going to age out.
And they've missed Snead as well.
He about to pack it up.
Chris Jones didn't know that they missed the playoffs.
He about to pack it up.
This is fucking news to me, man.
Pack it up for these next 2 days. This is the best litmus test if you want to watch guys and see how much they really kind of love football. Minus guys, if you're on losing teams right now, minus the guys that maybe have some type of bonus or some type of performance incentive that you're trying to fulfill, guys who just have to kind of be out there because it's your job and it's what you're paid to do.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really hard these last couple of games, especially if you play somewhere cold. Just getting up in the morning, wanting to go to practice, wanting to play in a game that means absolutely nothing at all.
I know nothing different.
And
I got no empathy.
Exactly.
Man, you've been winning. Now you got to go out there and fucking be a football player.
Exactly.
You love the game?
You're just clocking in,
We'll find out if you love the game.
No playoffs, clocking in.
We will find out if you love the game.
And so the next 2 drafts, 2026, the Chiefs have 6 picks. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 5s. And then 2027, they have 7 picks, 1 in each round. Do you start to consider, hey, this player here, let's start accruing some capital? Maybe we mentioned Chris Jones, another couple guys that we could send, this offseason and start getting some more picks to start.
I don't know that I want to send Chris Jones out of town, but I think what would help contextualize this is you got a list of guys that are up.
Yeah.
So hit me with that list, and we can kind of tackle it here.
Yeah, these guys are all like starters and fringe starters. So guys up after the season: Kelsey, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Watson, Brian Cook, Chenal, Pacheco, Amenahu, Kareem Hunt, Juju, Derek Nottie. Next year,
I'll tell you one guy they're not letting walk: Leo Chenal.
not letting him walk.
Yeah.
Not letting him walk.
Guys up after next year: Trent McDuffie. They're not letting
Not
him.
letting him walk.
Rasheed Rice, Juwan Taylor.
Not gonna let Rasheed Rice walk.
Juwan Taylor, Drew Tranquil, Dana, Connor, and then your swing tackles with Jalen
That's the
Moore,
tough
of course.
thing when you look at the roster.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of blue chip kind of players,
Mm-hmm.
and when you, it's kind of like, and this is part of why I like I'm a Josh guy, but like that roster is not what it once was, and you can see they've struggled to win without some of those, whether it was Tyreek or whoever it was. Now you've got guys that, like, I don't even know how many guys you can get real capital for.
Right.
Like, who are the guys that you can get real capital for that you're willing to part ways with in that group?
I mean,
Contract year guys.
in contract years?
Yeah.
No, not
Dump
not
somebody
many.
before.
None of them.
Kelsey.
It's a bad deal, dude. Like, they really are going to have to fight their way out of this thing the honest way. And I think, like, pass rush, we talked about that. Go out and get a pass rusher. I think you got to go find a succession guy for Travis Kelce, right? But I also think that guy's got to be able to block.
Yep.
I think he's got to be able to block. So
You need some route runners in that receiver room.
you
man.
need some separators.
Talk about like the Will Blackman kick returner thing. How many of those guys do you look at him and say like their key trait is creating separation?
Worthy's
route
key
running.
trait is running fast in a straight line.
Right.
Hollywood Brown's like a number 3-ish guy at this
Yeah.
point.
What about Juju?
Rasheed Rice is a fucking good
He's a real
football player.
piece.
Rasheed Rice is a good football player.
What about Juju?
We don't need to talk about Juju.
TikTok star.
But like, I don't know. They've also,
And that's exactly it, and it fits into
the Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick. Really, I know it's eons
Oh,
ago,
yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
there were other options there.
Where it's So, anyways, we don't want to beat a
Right now, the Chiefs are slotted to pick 11th overall. in
Are
this
you?
year's draft,
I heard
so.
you're not supposed to say beat a dead horse anymore.
Why not?
I don't know.
PETA don't like that.
Yeah, but I didn't eat the dead horse. I beat the dead horse.
If
You know what I'm saying?
I forget what year it is. If you ate Taco Bell, you actually did eat the dead horse.
It's the horse lobby, dude. It's big horse, dude.
Big horse.
All these insane women that ride horses, dude. The little jockey guys. You can't say that anymore.
Pile mine. You know Pile Maya?
But if you're on like a speed dating deal
From
and
The
you're
Sopranos,
like-
Pile My.
Chris doesn't know. See, he doesn't get it.
No, Pile My. Oh, from The Sopranos, bro. No, I was trying to connect the dots on this this analogy, but if you're doing speed dating and a woman says, like, you're like, what are your hobbies? And she's like, yeah, big equestrian, run.
No, I think that's
Dead
actually,
giveaway.
It's a good thing.
You think it's a good thing?
Yeah.
Giveaway.
You haven't met enough equestrians. Hey, chat, what do you think of equestrians? Dating material, or they're always gonna love the horse more than you?
I just feel like just in general, people love dogs the same way. Like people choose a dog.
Somebody said animal cruelty is included in PETA's mission statement. Yeah, but we're not really beating a dead horse. That's the point. Just like when I said, like, man, the Texans are going to kill Jacoby Brissett. I don't think they're going to murder him at the middle of the field. Like, it's a phrase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Jonathan Taylor was selected after Clyde Edwards-Helaire
Yeah.
at draft.
Yeah.
And moving to the
You know what
next-
some of those equestrians could use is Dr. Melfi.
Oh. A good one. I like that. Oh man, Melfi looks like she probably rode horses.
What?
Speaking of horses, the Broncos.
Oh, we got an equestrian. We got an equestrian, by the way. We got Victoria in the chat goes, NFL players dating material, question mark. I found the equestrian.
I like that.
I found the equestrian. No, we are not for the most part. We're not. Equestrian's valid. That's what they say in the chat. Yeah.
Equestrian.
Somebody said move on to the next game. Damn. All right, well, damn, man. Move on to the McAfee show or something. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Oh man!
If somebody said if the horse is already dead, then what's the problem? No, Vincent. That's it. No. All right. Let's talk about the overdogs, the Packers.
Ooh.
Look at that, dude.
What a good-looking pony, dude.
What's your mascot's name?
Miles, baby. This is way cooler than anything that Jaguar down south.
Now this doesn't look as
tell him, cowboy.
This doesn't look as menacing as he was looking in the third quarter of this game with the sun setting.
I know,
They were doing extra pyrotechnics around him. And it was like ahead of the 27-23 drive where the Packers really needed to they need to get something going.
Yeah.
And they had this motherfucker up.
I don't think Parsons was into the tunnel yet.
No.
Miles is up there.
No, Miles is up there let's fucking go. Trample him. All right, so anyways.
Miles doesn't zip line or bungee jump from the top of the stadium, though.
Yeah, I know. He lights fireworks off.
Lighting fireworks.
I'm with you on that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you're Sir. What's his name? Not Sir Perp.
Jack.
That's the bear.
Jackson
Shout
DeVille.
out to our guy.
Jackson DeVille.
Jackson DeVille. All right. So I think it's Bo Nix's best game as a pro. And you know how I feel about Bo Nix. Just to be accurate, so nobody here's oh, you're jumping on the bandwagon or you always hated him I've always liked Bo Nix. I've never loved Bo Nix. You play like that, I love you. You play like that, I fucking love you. And the thing I like about him is his, I've said this before, he never changes his MO. His expression is the same no matter how he played. He played like dog shit against the Raiders when they won 10-7 or whatever it was, and after the game, he's smiling. We won a fucking game, dude. That's what this team has really bought into, winning football games, which is something that's hard to get a bunch of professionals to do sometimes. As stupid as that sounds, they keep the main thing, and they love this dude. So this is the best football game he's played, though, in my opinion, considering the stakes, considering the team they played, the off-platform stuff for him. We talked about this yesterday in the man cave. We were talking about he's probably one of the best, if not, I don't want to say if not the best, but one of the best 3-4 throwers of the football in the run in the NFL. When he breaks the pocket and he's rolling left or right, he's as good as, I put him in the category of in this area of his game, Josh Allen, Caleb Williams, a smattering of different quarterbacks, but all really good throwing the ball in the run. I think he's one of those guys. And he'll bail to 15 and break contain. That's what makes him so tough to deal with as a rusher. So you can say all you want, hey, Enigbare, Parsons, Rashawn, y'all got to bottle this guy up. But the problem is normal quarterback drop targets 8 yards, climbing to 6. He's one of those guys kind of like Mahomes where, okay, you like that sentence, Reed? Kind of like Mahomes? Where he's bailing out of the back of the pocket. And so as a speed rusher, you almost have to rush in a straight line at the top of the rush. You know what I'm saying? Trying to cut him off. And that can widen the B gaps. It puts a lot of stress on the other rushers. And ultimately, I think, and this is taking nothing away from Bo Nix, who I already said played his fucking ass off. And if he plays like that, they are the favorite. If he plays like that, they are the favorite. Ultimately, the guys outside dominated the Packers' corners. And that's going to come up in a second as relevant information as you look at the Packers down the line this year. Sutton on the double move runs right by Nixon. He had a step on the touchdown. Valentine had a rough day. Guys like Franklin, little Jordan Humphrey step up.
Big Jordan.
The depth of this group, maybe not a headlining group, but again, the depth of this group in a game where all we talk about is the Packers wide receiver depth, which has been tested all year. They stepped up, and I think whether it's Pat Bryant or the guys I mentioned all year have made plays. Now, Pat didn't play yesterday, but the point is next man up. And then, you could blame the loss on the Parsons injury. I would not. I would not. I think rushing coverage worked together, but they were getting shredded. And, the Packers had their chances. I think in the spots Nix wasn't elite, they didn't make him pay. You think about three instances. Valentine drops a pick. Really wouldn't have changed much because they got the ball anyways at midfield because they didn't get it on fourth. But certainly the McKinney interception and then the tip ball in the red zone, the guys are kind of fumbling around over. They didn't make the plays, and the Broncos made them. And, early in the game when the Packers were looking like juggernauts and I was bought in and everybody was fucking bought in, when you go in the red zone and you kick field goals against a good football team like this, you always pay for it later. And I turned to you guys after the 6-0, and I said, man, they might pay for these, man. Mm-hmm. It makes you nervous. And, that's exactly what happened. I thought the physicality from the Broncos out the gate was outstanding. Hufanga damn near deleted whoever the tight end was. Was it Degura or who's the 81? Who's 81 for
on the hit that he
took
out?
On third down.
It was,
and that's what you call running through a motherfucker's face.
Whoa.
Josh Wiley?
That is what you call running
and
through
I don't know. They're totally
Wiley, right?
Degura, right?
I think it's Josh Wiley.
Wiley.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got my role player tight ends mixed up, but it doesn't matter because that was the end of that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, because he came in there and just fucking destroyed him, and it was both sides of the ball. It was Quinn Miners, like the second play of the game. I'm watching 3 technique go for a ride. I'm watching Cooper hip toss Tom. Dude, they just were more physical, and eventually that kind of caught up. But I do think early in the game, if it's 4th and 3 and they were playing like a different team, they probably go.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Hufanga play that dissuaded him, but Jordan Love, as good as he was in spots, missed Dobbs. And those are the differences in the game. And I will say, like, the whole game changed, obviously, in one play. You're up 9 in the second half, and you have a chance to really like blow this thing open. You can go up 30-16 or 17 points if you so choose. You take a shot, P10, just like you did the last possession. Okay, and I understand what LaFleur is thinking. We got to put these guys away, but I think driving the football down the field would have done. And they throw that deep ball to Watson. And when I say Hall of Fame football play, show me every snap that happened yesterday. I don't think I saw a better play in the NFL. And by a better player, no chance. The shot to Watson, the shot he threw 5 minutes earlier, whatever it was, traveled like 70 yards in the air. Little Zach Allen rush, guys in the middle muddying things up, just enough where he can't lead that receiver. And Christian Watson, who's become such a big part of everything they do, like that fucking play that he made just deflated that football team. And it wasn't just that, it was hurting Christian Watson, man. Like,
oh my God,
just all the air out of that team came out. And so, like, we are not saying Denver didn't earn it. The injuries mattered in the game. Denver went out and took it. And I do think, like, the Parsons injury, actually, I thought the Watson injury kind of lost them the game more so.
Mm-hmm.
The Parsons injury loses them the season. Okay? Like, because I don't know what's going to happen to Christian Watson, but, like, they do not get a lot of pressure outside of Parsons. They got a normal amount of pressure outside of Parsons, but they don't get a top 5 defense amount of pressure without him. I showed you that stat earlier. Now, Hafley doesn't like blitzing that much. They're not that aggressive in coverage. So what you going to do now? And I think that's the concern is, like, all of a sudden they're not going to be able to play the style of football they want to play because it's been kind of propped up by the defense. So I don't know where the Packers are going.
Every time we watch Jordan Love step back and throw off his back foot, it's the most terrifying feeling as a fan of the other team, and it should be for all 31 teams that you play, because he is deadly when he's sitting back in that pocket off his back foot and dropping it in the bucket to anybody. But do you think with Watson, so his injury not as serious as we thought it was going to be right after the game, he has a chance to play next Saturday, but even with him up in the air, do you think Jaden Reed, they're going to use him more? Who's going to step in? Or
Romeo Doubs then has to make a lot of like otherworldly plays, and Dontavian Wicks needs to be the intermediate guy, which he's done a very good job of at times. Like, and Wicks has to be really sure-handed, but Love can't miss any throws. And offensively, they've got a super physical running back, and they don't have a real physical group up front. And so, like, I don't really know what their identity is going to become. The identity is like kind of the quarterback's going to have to make some plays, and they're going to have to be really money on pre-snap. which they've been all year, right? Like, especially lately. But this hurts them because this guy was – you could argue they lost the two most important position players on their team, respectively, offense and defense. I'm not saying Watson's the best player. What I'm saying is at this juncture, he was the most important to their offense, their passing offense. I don't know where they go. Watson's going to come back, but I don't know where they go without Parsons. Corners are who we thought they are.
Mm-hmm. So
that's the problem.
A question related to that. You mentioned Halfley not being a big blitzer. Bottom 5 in blitz rate this season, only 26%. Joe Fan's going to sit there and say, "Oh, okay, just crank up the blitz rate." What is Joe Fan missing in saying that? Like, what are some of the bigger picture things of like blitzing that make it not that simple?
Well, number one, you got to rep these things. You have to be a blitzing team. Like, blitzing teams know what they're doing because they rep it a ton, and to the point where like the personnel matches, right? Like, you look at Kansas City.
Yeah.
You know, if you're bringing a guy on a slot blitz, he knows what the fuck he's doing. And then I also look at it like this: like, you don't have the corners outside to really blitz. Like that's another thing. We just talked about the luxury of like having cover guys in Denver. You can kind of do what you want. You can blitz, you can rush 4. Like, they showed that in the second half. They were winning with games, right? I don't know that you can bring pressure like that all of a sudden, like December, when all year you've basically built your third down packages around where Micah Parsons is aligned. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing. Maybe it allows some of the rushers that have been like, man, I don't want to be in a 3 technique. I'm not a right-handed rusher. I'm not a left-handed rusher, but I got to do this for the better of the team, and it's working because Mike is on the field. If he's not on the field, then maybe guys are like, hey, this is where I line up, and it don't change, and I can get into a rhythm, and maybe they can put together some 4-man rush. Right. But I think it's got to be like Enagbari's played really well. He's got to step up just a notch. Rashawn's got to step up a notch, and Lucas Van Ness has stepped way up. I also think, like, you know, a lot of what they do is playing zone coverage behind their rush. They don't have to, like, vary the looks like that. When you blitz people, you really have to disguise things. I know they do vary some looks, but it's like a whole different ballgame. So I kind of worry about them just reinventing their whole operation. I don't know if that answers the question.
It does.
Broncos, one of 2 teams to be in the playoffs. We're the first 2.
That's incredible. If that holds, you got a really good shot.
Yeah, we do. Fuck yeah, we do. I love our shot.
But I do think the Broncos they have proven it. All right, they have proven it. We can no longer say, I don't know if we've ever really said, oh, the Broncos can't win it, but we can't buy into that shit. Like, they can absolutely. This defense is awesome. In the second half of this game, they were playing like a different level of intensity.
I've got a question for the group, and we'll go around the room, and if someone takes your answer, you have to use a different play. But give me your favorite Bo Nix throw from the game yesterday, everybody. I can start with my top 15 if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be good. He was great, dude. I don't know, the one where he broke the pocket
and fired a dart.
Yeah,
and it was completed.
Like all of them
for a first down or a touchdown.
Down the field.
This is the perfect kind of game where his mobility negates the rush. His mobility pulls people off coverage. His mobility creates problems in the second level where it's like Valentine's got to get nosy on something that's not his job, and all of a sudden that first touchdown, you know, he's got somebody open outside the numbers because he breaks the pocket and people are worried about him running. Like he is legitimately athletic enough to do that. So
talk your shit, Reed.
Yeah, talk your shit.
You've been Bo leaving all season.
Yeah, but hey, Bo
you got your moment.
But
he had to pass to T. Batty for 1 yard.
That was your favorite?
Yep.
I mean, hey, he can do it all. He can throw it deep down the field, and then he's sharing the ball. and Baday's like, oh man, I haven't caught many passes. Can I get one, Bo? I got you, dude. Yeah. I know I've been firing it downfield to my guys all day.
We'll get you in the box score.
Yeah, get you in the box score. Let the family know.
You know what? Somebody just brought this up. Well, no, but actually they didn't break it. I just thought of the Bears. because they are the one team without much rush that they have done a really good job on third down this year. And like, I don't know if you could borrow something from Dennis Allen, but when I think about teams that like, but the thing about the Bears, they have like a healthy true number one corner, right? And they also have some ball hawking dudes in the secondary, which McKinney is. You're gonna have to be one of those teams that force turnovers. That's just that's the fucking road forward for them.
The
Denver.
It's gonna be a good one next week, Nate.
What?
Gonna be a good one.
Oh shit! Next week.
I know we're gonna have to make a bet. I'm a little so.
Where is it in Jacksonville or Denver?
It's in Denver. Yo, there's direct flights from Richmond and Denver, Reed.
Have fun.
Ooh, let's go.
You guys said earlier, he was like, yo, if the Jags and he texted me earlier this week, if Buffalo and Jags go, we need to go down to the game. I'm like, bro, there's no chance I won't be in my backyard watching that game on outdoor TV.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's a better spot. You don't want to be down in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
around
I know what you're about to say.
After they win.
Yeah, I know what you're
After they win.
Pretty predictable.
Yeah.
What I am nervous about that game next week as we end this, we were a little banged up. The Broncos were ourselves. Brandon Jones, safety, injured. R.J. Harvey, who's our significant rushing attack. They're both uncertain. Where do we go from there? Broncos fans online are throwing, hey, bring Justin Simmons home. I like the guys on the roster. I love Justin Simmons, but I like the guys on the roster. Shout out Devin Key and PJ Locke.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be all right.
I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think you'll be okay.
We'll get Ben Powers back.
Got an embarrassment of riches.
Next week's going to be so great. It's going to be so great.
Trevor's going to be like,
Nah.
Easy. Don't be a hater.
No.
He's gonna be tossing around back there.
Man, I mean, yeah, your quarterback had a good day, but it just sucks. It had to be shadowed by it wasn't even the best game. 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns. Thinks he's doing something. Oh man.
You mentioned the Bears, Chris. That's the next game.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, we do have to talk about the Bears because the Bears
that real field game of the week
quietly looked pretty good.
Oh man.
Bo, do you want to get you looked at the Bears offense? What'd you see?
Yeah, I was primarily focused on the Bears offense. I've become a little bit of a Caleb Williams fan. He's kind of won me over. That one fucking throw was so cool. Like, you see the end zone pass to that. And I thought it was interesting, too. I was talking with Fitz, and he said that he thinks that Caleb Williams is probably the best on the move thrower that there is in the NFL. And you mentioned that earlier, Chris, which I thought it's kind of cool to see your buddies in the media that played football saying the same things, without kind of collaborating on it. I guess you do know some ball, Chris. But anyway,
what did they say?
As far as Fitz said that he thinks that Caleb has the best, ball on the move of any quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, Helen Keller could see that.
I don't think.
So anyway, some expert
No, I
analysis.
think you can.
Chris,
Helen Keller's not even around. It's another saying. If somebody wants to take us off the air for saying that, then
You can't say that.
I'm gonna say it. Rest in peace, dude.
Oh, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bears offense. Obviously, it was a cold, real field game, but the Bears' identity is outside zone and play action. I think you really saw this in this game. They ran outside zone 7 times. They had 5 explosives off of that, which is cool. And you might say, hey, Bo, they're playing the fucking Cleveland Browns. Chris, we played in that Jim Schwartz wide 9 defense. That is a defense that is designed to get a fucking wide 9 monster on a tight end, right? And to just crush the edge of the pocket to defeat outside zone. And so the Browns are actually pretty good against outside zone, especially this year. They have a 20% success rate against outside zone, which is 6th best in the NFL. So they got their run game going pretty good. DeAndre Swift, you've seen him really improve this season. He's been fucking clutch. He had 18 carries, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's having a good season. But along with that outside zone, obviously, is play action. And that's the other big part of their identity. You've seen that with Ben Johnson. And Caleb was money with play action. He was 12 for 15 with 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 148.2 passer rating. That's all just on play action. So you can kind of see the way that Ben Johnson has infused this offense with, this outside zone and play action identity. Also, when you run these play action, you can get these boot opportunities, which gets Caleb outside of the pocket, and he can use his feet and stuff like that. And that's what we saw in that one awesome play that they made. So you might say again, oh, it's the Browns. They have a good defense though. Like they have a guy who was about to, break the record for sacks in the NFL. Like they have some fucking studs on defense, and they're actually they've allowed only 35% success rate against play action, which is 6th best in the league. So it's good to see these things kind of come to fruition for the Bears. And it's showing off here. Like they're in a pretty good spot as far as the playoff picture. The AFC North playoff picture does get a little bit confusing. We were just talking about that, with the Packers and some of their injury woes. But the Bears are up half a game over the Packers because of that tie to the Cowboys. Speaking of Cowboys, Reed, can you give me a idea of this NFC North playoff picture? Because I'm a little bit fucked up about it.
It is convoluted. So the Packers at 9-4-1, they're at the top. They have a 91% chance to make the playoffs per the Athletics playoff predictor. The Bears at 10-4 are at 85% to make the playoffs. The Lions 8-6, they're at 25%. To win the division, though, the Packers are at 43%. The Bears are at 53%. The Lions have a small chance at 5%.
Yeah, man. That thing just got pretty dicey, didn't it?
Yeah.
And honestly, does that mean what the Vikings have no shot?
Nope, they're
Vikings are done.
All right, good.
Vikings
Not
are
that I'm
out.
anti-Vikings. My brain can't take another team possibly getting in. I really hope the Lions make it work. I want the Packers to get into, because I picked them to win the division. So I want them to win the division. So I'm not an idiot. I've kind of fallen in love with what the Bears have done. I want them in. I want the Lions in too. Just put everybody in, dude.
So coming down to the wire here the rest of this season, let me read you off the schedule. So for the Packers, they play at the Bears this coming weekend on Saturday. Then Saturday the 27th, they go to they play Baltimore at home in Green Bay, and then Week 18 they go to Minnesota. Chicago, they see Green Bay this weekend at home. Then they go at San Francisco. Then they stay home Detroit Week 18. The Lions, Steelers this coming weekend. Then they go at Minnesota on Thursday, Christmas Day. Then Week 18, they go to Chicago.
What?
I want to ask your opinion on just the art of tanking.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen them switch the quarterback's wristband out?
Bro.
It's just like are the Browns?
How do I say this?
They have new.
How do I say this
are
as
they like
delicately as possible? If only the wristband wasn't messed up this week, they might have won that game. Bro,
the Bears won 31-3, by the way.
But have you ever heard that? But have you ever heard that? Like them
No, because
giving the wrong wristband
I'm
to a quarterback.
I don't want to talk on things that I have. I didn't play offense in the NFL. I didn't play quarterback. I was an offensive coordinator. Shador said it fell off or something, or what the sheet fell out. I don't know what the fuck happened there. But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not going to concede to a bunch of people that no matter how that game ended was gonna say he's still Tom Brady. I'm gonna do the thing that we've been doing here for the duration of the season, and I will continue to do it. He is a rookie. He's a 5th-round draft pick, and the expectations that have been put on him are totally unfair. And it's a lot of his own fans doing it. Because, and whether you think this is fair or not, eventually people start to dislike the player because of the player's fans. And that's the dumbest shit in the world. I can rise above it.
That's how I feel about Trevor Lawrence, Chris.
But you can't, well.
I mean,
but if we're going to wake up after a game like that and blame the Browns for the performance, which I thought yesterday, I'm just going to be honest because I've been honest through 3-4 games of this. And I didn't want to say it, but then I saw the fucking wristband thing. He looked borderline unplayable at times, and then the big plays happen, right? So, if we can just – I think if I'm – and it's the Browns, so do I think this is going to happen? No. But if I'm coaching Shedeur Sanders, it's all about timing. It's the same thing. It's like,
Perfect
hey,
timing.
it's perfect timing. It's just get the ball out on time, run the offense. I know it's not a great offense to be running, but it ain't like they don't have anybody that he can throw the ball to. He's got a good little rapport with the tight end. As bad as I know Jerry Jeudy is now like he's Mussolini or something because he dropped the Shedeur pass. but Shedeur missed him on 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 8. And
But that was a nice ass pass.
That was a great pass.
Oh man,
that was a great pass. But I'm just not with the first takey shit, dude. I'm just not with it. I want the kid to develop. I want him to take his time. I don't want too much to be put on the kid. It's his 4th fucking start, and he's a mid-round pick. And the problem is when people get into this thing where, you know, they get this, you know, you become a mascot. I don't know if you realize this, but like if you're online and the first thing you do on a Monday morning is wake up to overanalyze a 5th-round pick's performance, then you're a mascot. You're not, you know, you're not really a football fan. You're kind of like, it's kind of like being a music fan or like a fan of an actor. You're like a fan of a celebrity. Just analyze the football game, and the football game tells me that they played a good football team. It wasn't his best game. Go get him next week. It doesn't need to be about the wristband or sabotage or this. They threw the ball 40 times. If they'd have thrown the ball 20 times, I'd have heard he was sabotaged. Just at a point, like every analyst is going to reach a breaking point where they're like, bro, I can't listen to this shit anymore. Just analyze the game. It's not about the fucking wristband.
Not to add more.
And it's not a big play. I know Jerry Jeudy dropped that ball.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big play. At that point, they're down what in the game? 21-3? The next time they touch the ball, they're down 28-3. They were not going to win that game. It's a bad football team. He's a mid-round pick. Give him time.
The way footballs were leaving Caleb Williams' hands and finding DJ Moore's hands, they were not going to emerge that game victorious.
No.
It wasn't happening. But
Bears are a fucking good football team now, which is kind of what we said is why I gave the Bears out, and people looked at me like I had a dick on my forehead. I'm like, man, what do you want me to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at one team that's kind of hapless, and the other one's going to the playoffs, and the other team can run the ball. They can run the fuck out of the ball. And so I know that there were some people that were like, yo, Browns are going to win this game. Shedeur's going to outplay Caleb Williams. I just fly on the wall. What are they saying on their programs this morning? Are they being accountable, or are they talking about a wristband? It's not about the wristband.
Because Shedeur ranking out of 44 quarterbacks who have logged at least 165 snaps, he is 44th in EPA plus CPOE, adjusted EPA per play, success rate, CPOE, and completion percentage. But he's just a rookie quarterback.
He's a rookie quarterback. Give him some time. You want to talk about a rookie quarterback that I think has been –
Yo, Reed.
Reed just killed him.
What the fuck?
What did he do? What did he do?
Why'd you bring that stat up?
Because we just had to
Well, you're not allowed to. It's like, you know, like you got to nod. I got to nod along through a couple weeks of like, yo, it's Tom Brady. The stats. These are my least favorite stats where people are like, yo, only player to do, like it's like to drive a red car and throw for over 2 touchdowns in a game that, you know, it's 41 degrees on a Thursday.
And
Tom
arrive
Brady
within 30 minutes of pregame.
I'm like, bro, like, you're doing the kid a disservice. You're putting a target on his back. Whether you want to admit that or not, that's the way the world works, dude. Give him a fucking chance, dude, to just develop.
Here you go, Nate. Here's one. Through the first 3 career starts, Tom Brady, 543 passing yards. Shedeur Sanders, 723. Tom Brady, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Shedeur Sanders, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Oh my God.
And then people are like, man, people really hate Shedeur. I'm like, they hate you. They don't hate Shedeur. They hate you. Because you just say whatever, dude. You're just saying things, bro. You're not watching the game. You're just saying things, dude. Stop saying things. You want to talk about a rookie quarterback that I think might be the guy? Wait till we get to the fucking Bermuda Triangle. I want to talk about Shuck, dude.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Before we head to Bermuda, we're heading west to L.A. Rams and Lions. little bit of a revenge game.
You guys got this Rams Lions for a minute. Well, I'm like getting Phillip Rivers age. My prostate's getting all. I gotta piss.
Bo, Rams Lions. Would you love for
Rams
that?
Lions? You know what? I'm just gonna start from a fucking reaction based thing. Initially, I was shocked to hear that Aiden Hutchinson has more career interceptions than Sauce Gardner. I believe Hutch has 5. And Sauce Gardner only has 3. I thought that was a very interesting stat, but really good pick from Hutch in that Lions lost to the Rams. He did get hawked, absolutely hawked down. I think it was by the tight end. So just want to point that out quick because I thought that was a really cool stat. But as far as the game itself, this was a fun game to watch. I mean, obviously the revenge storylines and things of that nature, but I've just really enjoyed watching the connection between Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua. Puka had 9 receptions for 181 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns, but he's like definitely the go-to guy on that offense. You know, just continue to talk about the Rams offense. Unfortunate injury for Devontae Adams. So he was kind of dinged up going into the game with a hamstring. During the course of that game, he pulled up on a deep shot, and it looks like a pretty tough hamstring injury. So hopefully he can get healthy for the playoffs because he's a crucial part of that Rams offense, especially, you know, down in the red zone, down on the goal line, things of that nature. But I was thinking about how the Rams offense can move forward without Devontae Adams. The good news is, like, if you remember, Puka was hurt at other times during the season, and that was actually when, like, Devontae Adams stepped up. But you saw Sean McVay and the Rams offense go to a lot more 12 and 13 personnel. That's been kind of fun to watch, is like the evolution of how the Rams can get to all of their different things. You know, a lot of the same, like they have these almost utility skill pieces, especially guys like Puka. And they can get to all their, you know, their primary offensive looks with a bunch of different guys. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that, Nolan? That to me is kind of the biggest thing for the Rams offensively is, you know, how they kind of backfill with Devontae Adams being gone. How do you see them using, you know, their offensive dudes with him out, Nolan?
I think you said it. I think tight end usage is going to be huge. And you actually saw it in that game yesterday, too. Colby Parkinson, I'm pretty sure this is a career game for him in terms of receiving yardage, going for, you know, 5 receptions, 75 yards, 2 tuds. Davis Allen had a few grabs as well. There were a lot of targets, or a couple of big targets to Terrence Ferguson. You know, they want to get him involved. So I think the tight ends is going to be a big thing for them. And also in this game, you know, both offenses were rolling at different points. The Rams, after that Hutch pick, they were really clicking. But to me, as I was going through that first half, I was just waiting for the Rams defense to get a stop. Like, you just felt like they need to get a stop here. They need to get this offense off the field finally. The third quarter, I think that's where this game was really won. The Rams won the third quarter 17-0. 3 third quarter possessions. Yep. Rams ran 22 plays, 179 yards, 17 points. Had about 11 minutes of possession. You compare that to the Lions. 2 possessions there, 6 plays for -7 yards. They punted twice. So I think that was kind of in a game it was the high-scoring game we expected. It kind of came down to the defense, which defense was going to make more stops, and really that pass rush we've been seeing with the Rams all season. With Kobe Turner winning some rushes, Jarrett Verse winning some rushes, forcing errant throws. So. But it was some offensive fireworks on both sides for sure.
Which is what we said it was going to be. Chris,
right.
You said that on Thursday.
Yeah, just a lot of scoring, man. Now this was the game that kind of got caught in the crossfire of the 4 p.m.s for me. So, you know, did it look like? You guys probably already said this while I was, you know, in the John. Did it look like the Rams? How did the Rams corners hold up? Was there anything you learned about this game when it comes to like the playoffs? Like, is there anything matchup wise that you see with the Rams coming out of a game like this where you're like, damn, I don't love the matchup as much as I liked early in the year if the Rams played team X or Y? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think.
Go
ahead, Bo.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. I gotta look some shit up real quick.
Well, I think in terms of the corner question, it's a similar problem facing them with, I mean, really any defense in the league, but like what the Packers are now up against, where rush and coverage work together.
Right.
I think these Rams corners have overperformed relative to expectation this season, but what's helped them is having the pass rush that they've had, and that's what happened in the first half, where the Lions were able to score the way they did. The pass rush wasn't there.
So
Goff
the
wasn't
corners
really
got eaten
effective.
up a little bit.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. I mean, Goff 8 of
Yeah.
8 on in-breaking routes in the first half. They scored. We were talking about the Mills concept.
Yeah.
They scored on 2 of them. So for the
Same
listeners,
fucking concept twice in a
they
row,
just
dude.
dressed it up differently, right? For the listeners, Mills concept, you get a post and a dig from the same side, trying to high-low the half.
That's a
safety
cover.
there.
That's a cover 4 beater.
Yep, cover 4 beater. They worked it really well. First one, they dressed it up with. I think the first one went to Amon-Ra, the second one to J-Mo. Maybe a little bit. Maybe I haven't mixed up, but they dressed them up differently, hit them both. So they did. They were able to get after the secondary a little bit with that pass rush not clicking.
Yeah, and I think to answer your original question, Chris, just a little bit, if there's anything I'm worried about the Rams in the playoffs, I think I'll know a lot more after this Thursday night game against the Seahawks. Like, think about like how their corners are going to cover JSN, whether or not the front seven defensively for the Rams can get to Darnold and kind of protect those corners. I feel like it's got to be the most excited I've been for a Thursday night football game in a while is when they go up to Seattle. So that'll be a big tell right there.
Did Goff play that bad?
No.
Oh, I had it.
No, he just got outscored.
Yeah, the big
played
swing.
really
I saw a
well.
comment in here kind of shitting on Goff.
Yeah.
I was like,
First half, he was
No.
fucking
Yeah.
cooking.
okay.
The big swing.
MCDC was too.
The Rams allowed a 43.8% success rate to the Lions in the first half. They clamped down in the second half, 28.1. The Rams defense forced punts on the Lions' first 3 possessions, enough for to create that separation. But Nate, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say teams that are playing the Rams, they got to stop Puka when he's in motion. Puka leads the NFL with 355 yards when he is after he's put in motion.
Free access.
So, yeah. So it's if you're a defense and a defensive coordinator, I mean, you got to pay attention and kind of expect Puka to be getting the ball. When
That guy with a full head of steam at the snap.
Not fair.
And
He's just such a dog.
The way they've used him a couple times, inserting, I think, Nolan, you pointed it out, in between the tackle and the tight end.
Well, it marries up with their play action because they can use him as a blocker. And that's the nice thing about having a guy like that who can block his ass off is you're not like, why is he in here?
A guy that wants
like,
to block his ass
yes.
off. It's
So
the difference between he can do it.
He can and he wants
he
to.
wants to.
Yeah. So what that does is when all of a sudden he's in the C gap or whatever, and he's come in motion, he chops down, short motion or whatever it is, and people are like, oh, he could be in the run fit, and you got a lot of guys who, if you're in coverage, your eyes are so important. All of a sudden this guy's in the scrum, you can lose him. And I was kind of curious, has something come out about Devontae Adams' injury yet? I'm sure you guys have already talked about it, but.
Looked it up.
Because that looked bad,
Yeah.
like the hammy at full speed, especially when you come into that game and supposedly the hammy was biting him a little bit.
He's status in doubt for Thursday, week 16. I'm sure that's going to be a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
But nothing on the severity yet that I'm seeing.
I think I saw from Ian Rappaport today. The hope is he's going to be back for the playoffs. So probably looking being without him for a couple.
Felt like
of
week
weeks.
15 was just a injury fest. A lot of big names.
Awful.
Too bad.
Awful.
Most receiving yards per game in NFL history. Puka right now is on top with 90.7. Justin Jefferson 90.8. Jamar Chase 87.6, and then Calvin Johnson 86 and Antonio Brown 84.
He's unbelievable. He's having
this-
a year, and when you think about target shares, like he's got to share all that with Devontae.
And so if Devontae doesn't play on Thursday, do the Seahawks do a little 1-8-5?
I think the Seahawks are going to win this game.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for weeks. I just think it's really hard to sweep a team in the NFL. It's even harder to go up there and beat them a second time. The law of averages, man, like, you had Darnold who kind of defies the law of averages sometimes, but throwing 4 picks in that game or whatever it is, he couldn't play worse. They have a chance to kick and win that game.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Rams are also down Lake in their secondary compared to what they were at that point in that game. And so I feel like if I had to guess, this is a game that goes Seattle's way. It sets up for a really interesting finish down the stretch. But I'm not writing the Rams off. I think the world of this football team. I actually think they're probably a better football team than Seattle. But Seattle, and a lot of that is the quarterback. But Seattle this week, I think it's their week. the Rams really, I mean, there was no look ahead about it here. They, a little slow start, but in the second half, third quarter, man, fuck.
Third quarter.
And I know you guys brought this up, but, Rams, fourth downs. From what it looked like, the Rams had their way and got to have it situations. Also, the Parkinson thing, I wanted to you guys talked about that.
Yep.
What was the deal with that call?
Which part?
Parkinson, his knee being down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we did not talk about that.
Yeah.
That was a ridiculous call. I mean, that they said a touchdown. Who was it? Dean Blandino. He's like, that's egregious.
That was terrible. I saw that.
It was like a yard and a half short, man. That was tough.
All right. So with that having been said, we got to mention the Eagles before we get in the flyovers, because we've already looked at the AFC playoff picture, but maybe the NFC, or we've looked at the NFC playoff picture. The Eagles obviously are sitting pretty. They're not going to lose that division unless something terrible happens. Here are the things I noticed watching the game. Number one, a lot more motion in the run game. A lot more motion in the run game. I think that was up maybe 10% is what we came up with. And then, I thought the under center snaps were a lot more prevalent, 2x, the normal amount of under center snaps. I think the run game is encouraging for sure, the commitment to it. Like you come out the first drive and, they're like, hey, I know it's been a rough couple games, Jalen. We're going to let the big boys get this thing under control, and that's what they did. And, from a standpoint of the passing game, there's certainly more stuff to be excited about. Like, schematically, they made some tweaks. I thought more play action, play pass was encouraging. I thought some of the red zone stuff that Dallas Goedert was really good. Some creative play calls, couple quarterback runs that were designed that I liked. If you're hoping I come away from this game and I'm saying like, oh, the Eagles are back, I'm not, I don't know how you go from the sky is falling to like, hey, we're back because you beat that. I don't care if it's 48 or nothing. And that's not me throwing. I just can't like fix my face to lie to you and be like, yeah, I saw enough. I need to see them finish the season strong, right? You've got two division games against the Commanders coming up, and obviously the Bills game, which is going to be huge, and it's going to be a good barometer to see where you're at. But I think more than anything, what I want to see over the last couple games is consistency in the pass game, like consistent timing in the pass game. And, you can scheme up plays to the flat and shots or, like an in cut every now and again, but I want to see a little bit more consistency in the pass game. This wasn't the game to do it. But the one thing I liked about this game, though, from a run game standpoint was you can, playing the Raiders and playing the Commanders the next couple weeks, if you take care of business early in games, you can do a couple things. Number one, you can try different concepts. You can fuck with stuff, right? Because you have the gap to do that. And you can also get a look at, and I don't mean right now, but like you can rest your quarterback a little bit. It was good to see Tanner at the end of the game. I thought he looked good. I thought he moved the ball. They were in rhythm. It's garbage time, and it certainly has nothing to do with the current quarterback controversy or anything like that, but every snap he's on the field is a snap that Jalen Hurts is sitting and resting and not getting hit. And it also gets him ready for, the circumstance when you do have a running quarterback. And to me, like, this is burn the ships mode for the Eagles. Like, you need to tick up the run game with the quarterback. He might take a hit at some point. He might have to miss a series. He might have to miss a half. Shit. Everybody knows the story in 17. It's good to get looks at what you have in the backup, and I thought he performed pretty well. So a positive day at the office, kind of a workshop day for the Eagles, in my opinion, schematically, and just to make sure you get back on track and get the morale up. They're going to get Lane Johnson back at some point. I don't know when that is, but that's going to help a great deal. That is. And then from there, just have to get in rhythm in the passing game because, I still want to see that.
A wild
Chris,
stat. Go ahead, Bo.
I was just going to say I got one thing off this game. It's nice to not, it's nice to have a blowout, man. 31-0. But our boy Brandon Graham had 2 sacks. How fucking great is
BG,
that?
bro.
BG.
Talk
2
about
sacks.
He's the defensive Phillip Rivers.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, this is a good question. Fax in the chat's asking, how is this not a flyover with 18 emojis? It is sort of a pseudo flyover. We're gonna move on. I bet you we spend more time on the Jags
You
game.
asked that in the chat.
Yeah.
You asked that in the chat.
Real fast, just
Say it with
Yeah.
your chest.
Yeah.
Seriously.
He's whispering. Yeah.
just looking
I
forward to
didn't want to
the
interrupt him while he was talking, so that's the better way to do it.
Yeah.
just.
That's what I do.
Looking forward to the last 3 games for the Eagles. You talked about you want to see more consistency. They have the Commanders, then the Bills, then the Commanders. A Bills sandwich. If you're the Eagles, you clinch next week. Do you rest anybody against the Bills, or is that a game you think you need to have that consistency and
You need
play?
home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You got to keep playing. You know, I look at the picture. I mean, I could be wrong, but to me, it's, you know,
Right now, the Eagles are 3rd
yeah. I mean, like,
behind the Bears. Rams have already clinched.
you got stuff to play for,
Mhm.
and I also don't think this is an offense you can just say, hey, like, have a seat,
Yeah.
have a seat.
You want-
Hayes in the barn.
Yeah.
You want the offense heating up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Getting reps in.
When we get to the Jags, Fax is going to tell me I glazed the Eagles, even though I said like that win doesn't really do much for me. Let's get to the Ravens.
Let's get to the BetMGM. Say howdy, BetMGM.
Howdy, BetMGM. Anything else you want me to say? All right, hold on. This holiday season, Mondays aren't just about wrapping up the weekend slate. They're about unwrapping a pro football same-game parlay boost token with BetMGM. Here's how to get in on the action. Add a same-game parlay wager for tonight's game to your bet slip. Activate your boost token. If your wager hits, you'll enjoy extra winnings in unrestricted bonus dollars, the perfect gift to yourself this season. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, don't miss out on the holiday magic. Use bonus code GREENLIGHT and you'll get up to a $1,500 new player offer on your first wager. BetMGM, make it legendary. As we move into hour 3, the 3-hour tour of the NFL, we're gonna finish up with the Ravens here. Before we get into these flyovers, because the Ravens-Bengals game wasn't a foregone conclusion. This was supposed to be a good football game. It wasn't. And it wasn't, I'm just going to tell you, because the Bengals were bad in this football game. You know, Joe Burrow was bad in this football game. Joe Burrow didn't play his best. I want to give the Ravens defense credit on the back end. They had him holding the ball at times. They limited the big plays. But I thought, like, you know, you come away from this game, if you're a Ravens fan, you say, oh, wow, we shut them out, and, you know, the offense is back on track. I don't think, much like the Eagles game, but, you know, I think the Eagles are better than the Ravens for sure. I don't think the Ravens took the big step forward that the scoreboard tells you they did. I think, again, a lot of, like, there were plays in this game where Cincy's O-line just cut the 3-tech loose. Like on a third down. It was crazy, bro. Like, and the pick in the pick 6 at the end of the game, Burrow got fucking flattened, dude. Did y'all see that hit?
Mm-mm.
He got fucking killed, dude. And if you consider like everything we talked about this week with his psyche and where the team is, like that was just a brutal loss. But the thing I will say, and this is what I got excited about watching, was there were multiple scrambles in the first half of this game by Lamar that to me, he looked healthier than he's looked in months. Now, I don't know if that's an aberration or if I just misread it, but, you know, he's been dealing with injuries that were on the injury report and then some that I think weren't even on the injury report, if I had to guess. And I think part of being a player in the NFL is at times, you know, you're out there whether you're hurt or not. And for him, he can't be like, yeah, my hamstring's kind of fucked up this week. Like, he's got to go out and play. And sometimes you kind of guard and you don't open it up and you kind of put the governor on yourself, right, so that you don't worsen an injury. And at times, like, because of just time passed or, you know, you're not doing as much late in the season, you can take a big jump physically. And I think for Lamar, maybe this week he kind of felt like he turned the corner because there are a couple scramble plays specifically in the first half, one of them for a 15-yard game. Nothing like crazy, right? But just to his standard that looked like him. And he also threw some beautiful balls. I want to give Zay Flowers a fucking medal for laying out for that ball before the half. I think it was Jordan Battle had a chance to just decapitate him. It was a gorgeous hospital ball on the right sideline. and Zay laid out for that thing. But I just think I saw a little bit of that Lamar magic. And another thing I liked was Keaton Mitchell out of the backfield. I've been pushing for this guy to be a bigger part of the offense for a long time. It took way too long to get him the ball this year. So, yeah, positive. But again, like I can't help thinking what I think about the Ravens. You know, like when they were great, they were still a question mark in the playoffs. Now they're just decent, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, to me, this win here is akin to like beating a shitty AFC East team, like 48-20 or something like that. You know, I think that's kind of what it is. But a couple other interesting things I had
to be a Bucks fan right now after this week to talk.
Because I'm a Bucks fan all of a sudden. All righty, moving on. Since he had the ball for almost 40 minutes and did not score a point, which is crazy to me. Just imagine being on the offense, having that time of possession, and walking away from the game empty-handed. And then I think it's just, you talked a lot about the Ravens. This was all over social media, and it's like you see all this shit from Cincinnati about the organization and how shitty of a franchise they are, and people call them a poverty franchise and stuff. It's like, can you imagine being a Bengals fan, being excited to play a division opponent, going to the game, getting to your seat, and just realizing that they didn't clear off any of the snow, and then fucking taking your hands, wiping all that snow off, and then watching your team get beat 24-0. That's a tough place.
No, it's brutal. Hey, you got to give the Ravens credit. They won a game 24-0. We're not saying, hey, but we are getting close to the playoffs, and it is really hard for me to like dream up a scenario where I'm like, they just turn it on and look, 2-3 ticks better than they have all year. Now, maybe a lot of it is Lamar playing possum to preserve his body. And, like as I said, like maybe he's turned a corner a little bit, but I still don't love their offense even if he's healthy. In playoff time.
Real quick, Chris, we got some Twitter fingers here from Fax. He goes, Bo claims the Bucks when they win and then try to distance themselves when they play like trash.
Baker Mayfield MVP. Baker Mayfield MVP. Oh my God! So many weeks ago.
I don't
all
come
quiet.
in here and hijack the fucking podcast every week like some sort of Jacksonville terrorist and hold everybody hostage while I say
Jacksonville Antifa. Where are they headquartered?
Perfect.
I can't say.
It's so great you touched the mic at the perfect time because you're muted. It's
that's he went that
I don't
way.
want to say fucking
You muted yourself, dude.
Ball, fucking Jesus Christ.
No, but
God forbid I'd cheer for my team.
Yeah, God forbid. Just a guy cheering for your team, and that's why we're gonna throw you the ball right now. Go run with it, dude.
Duval!
I can't believe you had to wait this long either. That was my bad.
No, it's all good, man. It's just I knew you guys were gonna do this.
Do what? No one's doing anything.
Why would you let me start the show talking about one of the greatest quarterback performances in NFL history? And it's so funny because how many games would it take freaking Jalen Hurts to throw 5 touchdowns?
Wait. You're just mixing and matching
No,
things.
I know, but it's just like all of you guys. Bo Nix, 4 touchdowns. So what? We had 6 over here, bro.
But to be fair, it was the Jets.
But you guys say
if you're
going to
take shots at other people.
The Jets, how many teams have the Jets played?
God damn. I've never seen somebody die so hard on a hill.
I'm just saying, how many teams have thrown for have scored 6 touchdowns? How many quarterbacks against the Jets this year?
I know, but like to be fair, the point you made was like, fuck the Bo Nix performance. All he did was in the biggest game of the week. His team's 10 and what are they? 11 and
11-2.
12-2. My team has 10 wins also.
But no, you don't have as many as the Broncos.
No, not as many. No, we don't. But we have 10 also. We have 10 wins.
But so what you do is you drag people into these arguments that are bad faith arguments, and then we're in the mud with you.
Trevor Lawrence, man. Trevor Lawrence and the Travis Etienne, that combo dating all the way back. These guys have a natty championship together, and they're still doing it.
Ooh, you might want to look at the chat.
Hey, and they're still doing it. 3 receiving touchdowns to your running back, to your starting running back is amazing. And then Trevor having 51 rushing yards is just icing on the cake. But more importantly, the Jags have won 5 straight. And I hear everyone talking all this stuff, but I just know that if the Jags They are heading into the postseason the way you want to play, and it's all fun and games and going to be jokes until we whoop the Broncos' ass next week, and everyone's going to have to actually talk about the Jags and be like, hey, are the Jags serious? Because we thought the Broncos were really serious. I'm just saying. I'm just projecting what's going to happen.
Projecting is the key word.
But yeah, but or just like we do all the time, the Jags will win, and we'll put the game in the flyovers, and it's all good. But it's all good because
we literally started the show last week with the Jags. True or false?
No, it's okay, bro. Last week, you talk about last week. What have you done for me lately? Like the Jags, we won by 28 points.
You came in here and immediately started talking about the Jags, and we talked about them. Like we literally talked about them immediately upon starting the podcast.
Yeah, we were like, whatever you want. You know, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback of all time. 6 touchdowns. That's what we did.
I'm sorry, guys, that we can't talk about Patrick anymore for the rest of this year. And instead, it's going to be substituted with Jacksonville because we're in and they're done. And I'm happy for my.
I'm sorry, my man crush beat your Patriots. My man crush beat your Patriots.
And hey, my man crush
Max, who did you have winning the AFC?
It's so great for this game and this week.
And I wasn't gonna say anything, but then you started these outbursts,
and
bro.
also Nolan's man crush beat his Raiders.
Yeah, dude, your AFC West champion team got knocked off. Your Super Bowl team of the Packers got knocked off.
No,
I'm such a big Bucs fan. Just so you know, they're in the top of the NFC South too. The Bucs are. So
no, I know my team's in the top of our division too.
Dude, I think Trevor's been playing great. The highlights that I saw yesterday, he was offended I didn't watch the game. I'm like, bro, like that's no offense. It's a Jets game.
He had one of the best.
It's like I didn't watch Bills Panthers that closely.
One of the best throws in the NFL season this year.
I know. I don't doubt it.
He had one, but
the highlights have been incredible. The highlights have been incredible. What do you want?
No, I'm just, bro. Trev had a good game, and I texted chat. I texted chat in the first quarter. All you guys, I was like, hey, Trevor looks like he's having one of those old school Clemson ball out games, and he did.
Yes, but I thought you were about to say we like push back. We are literally point of least resistance. Whatever you want to do with the Jags, we'll get out of the way. And we talk about frosting on the cake. Trevor can put all the frosting on your cake he wants, and we'll just sit there and watch you fucking slurp the Jags, bro. We don't care, dude.
Oh, man, it's going to be so great because the Jags, they're just going to be so good for years to come, and everyone's just like, all you haters, you just got to deal.
Nobody?
Bro, we're not hating
You're a hater, dude. You're a hater. Do you realize that?
Don't you guys are acting like, you're acting like Richard Sherman. You're acting like this.
We're really not. Yeah, Richard Sherman was visibly shaken.
Hey, man, just let Trevor be him. It's okay if you don't think he's good, but we're winning games.
But you didn't a month ago.
Huh?
You didn't a month ago.
No, I know, but I always.
So how are you doing this?
No, because we're winning games. And my issue is if you play bad enough that we're going to lose with the defense that we have, yeah, I'm going to talk shit.
Yeah, but
Liam Cohen did it for all the fans. He got in Trevor's face and told him, hey, get it together. And look, he's doing it.
Yeah, but I got to level with you for a second. I don't know about the guy I don't know, but hey, it's me. It's me. Yeah. All right? It's me. Remember the guy? Took you on your recruiting visit? Okay, it's me. We sound like the same person. Love the team. Quarterback had to prove it to you too as of a month ago.
And he's proving it.
He's proving it. So we don't disagree on anything.
No, we don't.
The only thing I think we maybe disagree on is that they're the best team in the league.
No, I think they're the best team in the league right now, the way that they're playing and the momentum that they're taking at the end of the
What about the Broncos?
Yeah, we play them next week. We're going to knock them off. Like, kudos to the Broncos.
Kudos
to the fucking Broncos.
I'll take that.
Liam Cohen versus Sean Payton is going to be electric next week. It's going to be electric. And I got Liam.
Oh, it is going to be we need to live watch that game.
Yeah.
Honestly, we need to live watch that game. I don't care. Fuck, dude. Well, I won't get any work done. You just come over for Sunday. Everybody in here, we're gonna live watch the motherfucker.
You better warn the neighborhood. Like, hey,
are you with it?
Some Duval.
We're gonna see.
Just so you know, everything's okay.
I'm not sure if I want to live watch a game with you guys. You guys might piss me off. You guys might piss me off.
Oh my god.
The sound of a man in fear.
Okay. Now, what else do you want to say about the Jags?
Did you see what
Before I move on to the flyovers.
Did you see what Travis Etienne said after the game? He said
He's never seen Trevor play like this before.
Him and me both.
He's never seen it, and he won a natty with him.
No, I know. Him and me both.
I know.
That's the point. Like, you got to be, at some point, like, NFL fans, and I'm certainly not calling you a fan this, but, like, NFL fans, it's just too personal, man. It's just too, like, you personalize it too much. Like, you also had doubts about your quarterback 6 weeks ago. Like, I can guarantee you, if you're a Jags fan, you did. That guy's playing a lot better, but you can't go scorched earth on everybody that was like, I don't know if I trust the quarterback, because you were in the same boat. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? It just gets it's like partisan politics, dude. It feels like it's midterms around here.
Yeah, I prefer nuanced football
Midterms.
Conversation, Chris.
Yeah,
I don't know if these Jacksonville things that we do are nuanced football conversation, but
I think they are. I think they are nuanced.
Okay.
Teams leading the division is not nuanced.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Fucking idiot, Bo. Stupid fucking idiot. Fucking loser. Stupid handlebar.
Oh, man.
Whoa. Insult me all you want, all right? Insult the Bucks, but don't
No,
you
I'm just
ever
joking
fucking
around.
insult my mustache again. I'll crawl through this computer and strangle you.
The Bucks are playing possum, by the way. Hey, I saw the speaking of Florida teams, I saw the audio of there's some audio of Vita Vea and Hassan Reddick walking off the field. I'll tell you what they said. He said, if it's an exit, pick it. It's a sack. Like, go make the play. Now, I don't know. I haven't had the time to go back and look and see if they missed an opportunity late in that game as rushers. But that's what they're saying, I believe. An exit, E first, tackle around, N first, tackle around. He's pissed because somebody opted out of an exit. Maybe somebody called an exit and didn't run it. I just think that's
the worst.
That was one of the worst fucking losses I've seen this NFL season, losing that game to a team that had 20 penalties. And with the lead,
it was 3rd and 28.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
And then that fumble. I fell asleep.
He cried.
Watching that Thursday night game. I went and put on some Nora Jones in my car and cried afterwards.
You don't even know who Nora Jones is? Man, you better find out.
But I woke up and Kirk O'Chain's got the ball with whatever it was left, and didn't really have any timeouts. I can't even remember. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed. Woke up, checked the score, and they lost, and I was like, oh my god, I was shook.
Do you want to know something Kyle did? My brother Kyle. Tell me. Go ahead. Tell me the whole thing. But then what?
But then your young Prince who was promised.
Prince was promised fumbled the bag. Well, he didn't fumble the bag. We'll talk about that in a second. He didn't fumble the bag. Yeah. And you're going to do the thing. You all didn't watch the game.
The bag.
Bryce didn't fumble the bag.
I did not watch that game.
No,
Bryce,
I keep hearing this break.
Bryce was cooking. Here's what happened to me last Sunday. Speaking of I didn't see the game. I fell asleep. Remember at the beginning of the slate, Kyle FaceTimed me at like 1:05, and he knows that's the worst time to FaceTime me, but he FaceTimed me anyways. And he looks at the phone and had the nerve to go, hey, I didn't see the ACC championship last night. How did that go? And in his defense, he didn't really know how it went. That was his way of asking, and expected me not to think that he was fucking with me. So I said to Kyle, Kyle, I got to go. Have a nice day. Swear he was mad at me for 5 days. We haven't talked in like a week. I sent him a couple memes to try to break the ice. He wasn't into it. Kyle got mad. All right, so let's take off. It's time to take off. Yeah, we've got the flyovers. We got the flyovers.
Seahawks, Colts, Phillip Rivers, Hemingway.
Seahawks, Colts. Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
I don't want to be this guy. But
can I say something quick? Because I've been cooking on this all day and I've been excited about it.
The chat's lighting up with people who didn't watch the game, talking to me about Bryce Young. People that did not watch the game, but that's okay. You guys are all geniuses. Go ahead.
Bo, light up.
I was just gonna say this is made a literary reference earlier. This is our Hemingway game. We can call it the old man in the Seahawks.
Old man in the. That's good. That's fucking
God, I
good.
thought that was so funny. I've been waiting all day to say that.
I already heard
Just
it, to
didn't-
be
just
honest.
barely got a laugh.
That's a good one.
I did
Old
try
man
it
in
out
the
on you.
Seahawks. What's the name of the stadium?
Yeah.
Lumen. Sacrifice of Lumen.
Yeah.
No, that was that bro. Here's the thing. And I said this yesterday, like when he was up there fucking checking shit and all this stuff. Like, man, when you are a team that only has ambitions of going 3 plays at a time, if you can check them, you're into the right runs, the right looks, the right protections, you got a shot. And obviously this is Shane's offense. So that he's been running at his high school, and they've been together since San Diego before it was LA.
Yep.
And so, like for me, there were a lot of people this week. I don't count myself in. So I'm not like the person that picked the Colts to win. I stared at that thing and wouldn't even bet it for fun because it's like you don't know what's going to happen in that game. I'd be curious how the market was on that. Like, like who was betting which side was the public side. But I do know this. Like a lot of people compared it to. It felt like the Jeff Saturday hire at coach. I know we joked about that, but it is not the same thing. Okay, like it's not the same thing. Like, and no quarterback got fucked over because Phillip Rivers got signed. Don't do that. We're not doing that. If anybody, speak now or forever hold your peace in this. Seriously, if you think somebody got fucked over, if there should have been somebody else who got the call.
Oh, got the call like that. But I feel like Riley got fucked a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
As a quarterback.
Maybe.
Just for a legit shot.
I think he might understand because of who it is, because you grow up a fan of the game, and and at the end of the day, you can't really argue with the results. If the defense gets a stop at the end of that game, you win it.
But also,
like you kick the ball through the fucking uprights, you win in Seattle.
Devil's advocate.
Yeah.
If you are a backup, you'll be like, it was a close game. I felt like
no question.
If I'm in there, we can win a close
no
game.
Question.
Like with me versus some 44-year-old.
No question.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the only push.
But if you're on the street, I heard this like, hey, it should have been Cam, which Cam kind of did the thing, and I think Cam is funny as fuck, and I think part of it is he's just being funny a little bit. But like, there's a clear reason why Phillip Rivers was brought in to run this offense. Like that's the offense that he knows. He's familiar with it. And there's a lot of bad quarterbacks on the street. I'm not talking about other retired guys, but I'm talking about like, why don't you bring in this undrafted guy or this guy or that? There's a lot of bad quarterbacks. And this guy's seen a lot of shit. And at the end of the game, when he hit that fucking back shoulder fade on 3rd and 7, I was like, oh my God. Like, and the funniest thing about Phillip Rivers is we all kind of grew up watching Phillip Rivers in that 4 p.m. window, playing in games that are just like, they're Greek tragedies, man. A lot of times he was on the ass end of those things, and it ends up being the same thing, but it almost feels like a win because he didn't die.
No, I was just about to say, kudos to the Colts O-line, like in the offense, just keeping him alive, because I think that's what everyone's kind of like waiting for, but it's like the scary thing, and it's just like, it's like getting it again. Like, you just wait for a guy to get his welcome to the NFL moment, like when you really get hit by like an NFL player, if you're like a running back or a wide receiver, or a quarterback, like the first time you get blindside hit, like how are you going to respond? And it's not that everyone's waiting for that, but I feel like everyone's kind of waiting for that to make sure he's not going to break in half.
Welcome back to the NFL moment.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Here are your teeth.
Back.
Pick up your teeth and head back to Indianapolis. I think the bigger story in this game, because I'm still of the belief that like it would shock me if the Colts did enough to get in. Like, I'm not saying I'm not somebody who's saying I was disrespectful to football that Phillip Rivers is the quarterback. I think it's good TV, to be honest. And I don't know the guy. I mean, I played against him some. Always respected him, and I got a lot of respect for him. I'll leave it at that. So like, if he wants to fucking do this another year, go for it, bro. The football's better with you playing it. But I will say the bigger story in this game
physicals for the next 5 years.
Yeah, dude.
Smart, really smart.
For
Yeah.
11 for 10
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, no, I know.
Because even if it
I was
wasn't
watching
for that, hey, I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you think about it, if I only had to play one game and just make sure I don't die, like
Somebody said it looked like he was hiding a honey baked ham. Hey, that was shout out to Mello with the dot. But they honestly,
the memes, he really does look like an OC, offensive coordinator. If you go to a game and you see him like at the beginning, he's
Yeah.
like getting ready for
No,
the
I know.
game, and you'd be like, oh, look at the coach out there getting ready for the
dude, him and Mike Kafka have the same workout plan. Like it's like it's treadmill, it's play catch. Like that's what he's been doing. And
Same workout plan, different vocabulary when they get frustrated.
dadgummit.
Dadgummit
Yeah, the other
versus-
guy's like motherfucker.
Beep, 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 beep.
He's a regular Todd Bowles there.
Yeah.
It's so funny seeing a bunch of people get all their panties in a wad over Todd Bowles cussing. Like,
Right.
we need more class out of a head coach. I'm like, quiet, piggy. Well, not the president, but Todd Bowles needs to be classier at the fucking podium. If I was Todd Bowles, I'd be pissed too the way those motherfuckers were playing.
And I'd be pissed that I'm the coach being talked about for being unprofessional when the other coach did a little, Amazon halftime show.
Oh
check-in.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Raheem was was soaking it up, dude. He was soaking it up, and then our guy got in trouble.
Yeah.
The bus.
You can tell he grew up with some white kids. That game. Also, like, it's okay to change the name of some games. Like, it's not a big deal, dude. If it offends somebody, I'd just change the name of the game. Like, it's not a big deal, dude.
Bro, I've never heard that game.
It's kind of a white guy game, dude.
But no, we called it kill the carrier.
We could
like,
kill the man with the ball.
Yeah, like up
Yeah,
north,
we used to
maybe
call
it's
it
like
tackle the gentleman.
I've
with the
never
football.
ever heard, like, I don't know why, like, I've never heard that term of a game.
I
but
never heard that either.
yeah,
Surprising.
kill the carrier
that's
was
surprising.
always like,
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, I think the bigger story is how Sam Darnold handled the blitz or didn't handle the blitz. Nolan, what do you think?
He handled the blitz not as well as he did last week, but not as poorly as his worst moments this season. The offense, obviously coming out of this game, 18 points, against this Colts defense. You kind of want to look under the hood, see what happened there. 2 of 13 on third down. Blitz pickup for the offense at large was an issue. I don't know if pass pro is really well designed. There's a 3rd and 8 early in the second quarter. Zach Charbonnet was tasked with picking up Latu, rushing unabated off the edge. I mean, that's not a good design for any back in the league. In pass pro, you don't want a big guy on a little guy is the general rule of thumb in pass pro, and that's what happened there. I thought Lou Anarumo did a great job with disguises in coverage, throwing change-ups especially, mixing up cover 3, cover 4, cover 6, different kind of safety rotations there, prevented Darnold from kind of getting comfortable with what he was seeing in the secondary. But yeah, I think the blitz pickup remains an issue for this offense. Again, not quite. It wasn't as bad as it was in their worst moments, but you can see that this is the blueprint that every team's following. And the other thing that worked against the Seahawks offense in this game was they did not have much success running the football, and that's a problem when you're facing the Colts because that group has struggled. That rushing defense in India struggled all season. It's what opposing offenses have built their game plans around playing this team. I mean, we talked about Andy Reid earlier in the show being very pass reliant in his tendencies as a play caller. He handed the ball to Kareem Hunt 30 times in that game when they played the Colts. So Seahawks only a 25% rushing success rate in this game against a defense that's allowed a 35% rushing success rate of the season. That's 31st in the league. So they couldn't run the ball well. Pass pro, blitz pickup remaining an issue for them. And they got to get that tightened up in a hurry facing the Rams Thursday night.
Yep, short week. Maybe a little look ahead spot for them. I mean, we're playing a quarterback that's a grandfather. Maybe we're not going to, take him so seriously.
For sure.
But good teams find a way to win, and they did find a way to win. I got to give them that. And speaking of good teams, I'm not going to say anything about the Texans, but maybe somebody that Texans were like a set it and forget it for me yesterday. It just felt like a game where they were going to beat the the brakes off the Cardinals. Ended up being and I know we were looking at the number and saying, hey, 9.5 is a lot of points, man. Jeez. But it just ended up being a deal where all of a sudden the offense is competitive.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing that I'm seeing coming out of some of these games over the past 4 to 6 weeks is like, you talk about the run game, finding it in places you didn't think you'd find it. And C.J. Stroud kind of working his way back into the good graces, man. I mean, I thought the Kansas City win was enormous because it gives him an opportunity to, like, take some pressure off himself. And now, in this stage of the season, just prime up for the postseason, man, because they're going to go. They're going to the postseason.
Yeah, coming out of this game, I mean, we all know the defense is a superpower there in Houston. So I just peeked at the offense. Good performance overall from CJ. And I think that the biggest reason for that was how well sequenced they were with the inside run game, marrying that with the play-action passing game. Chris, you've talked a lot on the show about how an efficient downhill rushing attack would work wonders for this offense, and you saw that in this game. They had a 38% rushing success rate on run designs between the B gaps, so inside zone and duo in this game. It put them in some shorter second and third downs that really allowed the play action and the quick passing game to pop. Texans 75% play action success rate in this game.
No, there's people talking about breathing.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Is it me?
No, it's Bo.
Oh, okay.
No, it's me.
It's
me. I was
talking
thinking
about
about
play
the
action pass. I can't
Texans
be-
winning the AFC South. So I got that.
Keep going with the play action pass because I like where you're going.
So play action pass looked really good in this game. 75% play action success rate compared to 39% in the season for them. So CJ, great game, multiple chunk completions. He had when he had time to execute in rhythm, also made some plays off schedule when he had to escape middle pressure. I think protection still wasn't great. CJ made it work. The guards are a problem there. Ed Ingram is kind of a turnstile in pass pro. You saw it last week against Chris Jones and the Chiefs. And on the left side of that O-line, Ursery and Howard, they're not passing twists off real well. So I think that the protection remains a bugaboo, but when they can run the football, it works wonders.
So it kind of, we always talk about in the AFC, like the way the Chiefs have gotten away with not having a lot of great rushers because that's not really a currency in the AFC.
Right.
Like you think about who are the matchups that really give them problems, which is a funny thing to say about like a 7 seed. But I think in the AFC, it's kind of like outside of a couple teams, you feel like it's anybody's game. There's a couple like front running teams right now. I've certainly put the Jags in that. No bullshit. I put them on the tail end of that, Denver and New England and Jacksonville group. But outside of that, I don't think their deficiencies are deal breakers for them in the postseason. I think that's why it's interesting. If you got a problem at guard, the chat is just frying. Chat's still frying, Bo.
Yeah.
It said Bo got long COVID. Somebody said Bo got long COVID. Bo need to switch to menthols.
Someone said that Bo popped an oyster.
But that was me. I was making that noise just to fuck with y'all.
I don't have anything to say.
No, just keep breathing.
Just breathe.
I'm gonna be all right. I promise.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine.
One dude to shout out from this game for the Texans, running back Jawar Jordan. He saw his first live action 2 years on the P squad, 101 yards, 15 carries. He had a 50-yard run in the third quarter.
How about that?
He's a smaller back, 5'10", 186, but really had some big plays on kind of perimeter run game stuff. So.
That's huge, man. Just to this is the time of the season where you don't know, somebody might pop up and be a big piece of your puzzle. And I think for the receivers outside, this is like a year-long deal where it's like you're watching guys grow up. So they just got to stay out of third and super long, and I feel like they can hang. Okay, so
I don't want to. Did you mention anything? Did we talk about tight ends? I was distracted by the chat.
No, you go ahead.
The Texans defended the tight ends very well. The tight end position all season, they only allowed 4 touchdown receptions entering Sunday. Trey McBride scored twice. Could be a potential issue for the Texans because they have Brock Bowers, Mr. Gadsden, and Mr. Warren upcoming.
Yeah, no question. I'd like to see how they
how
they defend those cats.
Mr. Toe had a rough one yesterday.
No question. I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I read about it. Some people were complaining. You know, he's best running in a straight line.
Yes.
Preferably at somebody. He's a battering ram.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a middle pressure guy. He's a N'Kobe Dean type. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that was there's your flyovers.
Let's get lost.
I'd love to get lost. First, I
the
want to
Bermuda Triangle, where football games disappear.
I don't know, Jim.
This
one might disappear.
With me to the Bermuda Triangle. You know, customs of Bermuda Triangle is not real tight. You can get weed in.
And
says me.
Allegedly, we had 3 games get lost this week that we're trying to find.
Damn. 3 games.
Man, what's going on? There's a thick haze over the Bermuda Triangle today. Roger Goodell must have got. We're going to do a couple games, by the way. We threw 3 games in the Triangle. We threw the Giants and the Commanders in the Triangle. We threw the Saints and the Panthers in the Triangle. The Panthers have to earn their way out of the Triangle. And lastly, the 49ers, and they were playing against that poor fucking rookie Cam Ward, who 2 weeks ago had to hear about how he was like the inferior player to Shedeur Sanders, and now he's in the Bermuda Triangle. So Roger Goodell was at actually the first game, which is wild to me. Roger Goodell must have gotten lost on his way to the Bahamas, because there's no fucking way the commissioner of the NFL should be at MetLife Stadium watching that football game, but he was. And in true Bermuda Triangle fashion, nobody saw the game. There were so many gray seats exposed in the telecast. I was kind of wondering, 30,000 people? Like, what do you think? What their attendance is bullshit, obviously.
Yeah, well, actually, it was a sellout. They were doing an old Halloween thing. Everyone dressed up like a chair.
Oh, that's interesting, Reed. That's good.
Yeah,
it was a packed house.
Very, very forward thinking by that organization.
Packed house. And this is funny. It is a great quote. Greg Van Roten, their guard, said, "We really haven't played well enough to deserve people coming out in a snowstorm to watch it." I get it, is what he said, in the famous words of Greg Van Roten. Losers of combined 15 straight. The Giants and the Commanders, they took the field. And honestly, they missed a major opportunity not finding a way to tie the game, because it's pretty disrespectful to break that streak. That's a hell of a streak they were working on. I don't think the Commanders had won since the game that made them 3-2, I think, which feels like another lifetime, when they beat the Chargers. Washington went up 2 scores in this game when Bill ran through a hole so big you could drive a Phillip Rivers through it. And eventually they were up to their old commie tricks, trying to redistribute the wealth by fumbling the ball 4 times and turning it over twice late. After Ben Sinnott inexplicably shook the fuck out of Javon Holland, Washington gives it away again in 4-minute mode, and a rugby match ensues. If you see that play was fucking insane. There were multiple laterals, and the Giants nearly pulled it out. But good for the Giants, because they're now in the driver's seat for the number 1 pick, and good for Dan Quinn. You know, this team hasn't won since, what I mentioned was like October 5th, and you could really hear it in his voice. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for that team, because they had higher aspirations. I don't know about the Giants, but they thought they were a playoff team. And I kind of agreed at the beginning of the season, but injuries happen and it all fell apart. I think they still respect Dan Quinn. Big Blue, as I mentioned, number 1 in line for that first overall pick. And I think they might want to go with depth at the quarterback position, because Jackson Dart is 50% blue tent rate right now.
That is insane.
Which is a bad deal.
I can't wait after last Thursday's show. Macon asked me who the Broncos are going to take at quarterback position this year's upcoming draft. I can't wait to ask him the same about the Giants.
Oh, it's a good question, because this guy currently is hell-bent on seeing how much tau protein he can accumulate, and on potential solutions. Dart admitted maybe just run the other way. I have no idea. I'm not sure. That was his solution to avoiding the blue tent. Defense is mixed bag. Abdul Carter, my guy, really flashed. Don't give up on him. when he wasn't on Tunsil Island, when he was on the mainland playing against anybody else on that front, he really balled out. 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles. He was in on a sack. He had a sack. And I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to big boy the guy because he's got a chance to be much better than yours truly. But the motherfucker just, if he can get in the weight room, dude, and he can get his play strength up, I'm telling you, there's some greatness in this kid. And obviously you want to pay attention to meetings and all that stuff. But and if I were to show you the McLaurin touchdown, you'd be surprised that it was snowing in the frame because it looked like week 1 of training camp for this Giants defense. Shout out to our Washington Commanders caller. And that play actually came on your very first, your very favorite down and distance, which is 1st and 20. So they had him right where they wanted him. Young Wei Koo somehow turned into old Wei Koo because he missed 2 field goals. Last week he kicked the shit out of the ground. Kickers, man, when it's over, huh? So next game is going to be Joe Hornday in New Orleans. Joe Hornday, of course, is a callback to the 14th of December, 2003, which is the cell phone game. I personally wish cell phones looked just like they did when Joe Horn pulled that cell phone out of the goalpost. I think we'd all be better off for it. The thing I was most impressed about when I watched Tyler Shuck is he plays with timing and in rhythm, some of the things we talk about with some other quarterbacks, right? Rookie quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, and especially intermediate throws, middle of the field. He threw a ball on the 2nd, 3rd down that grazed Roseboom's helmet. He's dropping from the A-gap to the opposite hook curl zone, and he fits it on the backside of his helmet between 2 guys. Like, he really understands space underneath. And I think the throw on I forget, it was 2nd or 3rd down in the red zone, but the one he hit Olave for the go-ahead touchdown and tying, it was the game winner to Olave. Shout out to the defense. Stop the run. Saints defense is playing for nothing right now. They play hard as shit. The dirtbag that spit on Devontae Smith a year ago played his ass off. Number 98. What's his name? Peyton.
Oh, it's eluded me.
Wilson?
Turner.
He played his ass off. Peyton Wilson's the Pittsburgh linebacker who's got deceptive speed. And so, yeah, I mean, Chase Young turned back the hands of time. Huge sack. Huge sack. I don't want to say huge sack. Big, important sack at the end of the game. And a nice chase down. There's no way to say that. Like, when I was in the league, dude, I had these my equipment guy, he's got the Jimmy Lake. Shout out to Jimmy Lake, his kids. We were all, like, tight. I loved his kids, man. But I get back in the locker room, and I was sitting there with a towel on one time, and, like, the kid came up to me. He's like, nice sack. And we all just erupted laughing because, like, there's no good way to compliment somebody on the sack they just had. But that was a nice sack that Chase Young had. And
you said 90s Brzee. Was that what you're talking about?
No, 98 I said.
Oh, 98 is Jonathan Bullard.
No, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Really? For the Saints?
Yep.
Wow. Who's the guy last year that spit on Devontae Smith?
That was Peyton Turner, but
so he got cut?
I believe so. He didn't play yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think
so they got a new number 98.
Peyton Turner's on the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, karma fucking got him.
What happens to Bermuda?
Karma got him, dude. So and then lastly, I got to shout out. There's more to it here, Cowboy Reed. I got to shout out. I got to shout out. I got to. Golly, who am I shouting out here? I got a little list. I've lost the list. Yeah, the fucking Irish kicker.
Yep.
There was an Irish kicker. The guy's been in the league for like 3 weeks. He kicked the game winner, Charlie Smith, and I was really interested in listening to him post game because I couldn't understand a word he fucking said. So we talk about the Panthers. I think they really want 3 to 4 plays back. I thought Bryce played well. I know it's inconceivable to some people how you don't outscore the Saints and the quarterback plays well, but my brain is capable of thinking with nuance, which you should look that word up. He played really well. He threw a lot of nice balls. The Saints just shut down a run-first offense, and they ended up in some really tough situations. I think the one miss was in the red zone on the in-breaker to Ted McMillan. He wants that back. But otherwise, some bad breaks in the second half. Like Roseboom had a fumble in his hands. They're up 17-7. If he just picks it up, they probably win that football game. And then the 4th and 1 stuff. Like at that point, they take the ball out of Bryce Young's hands, and if they convert, they probably win the game. There's 11 minutes to go in the game. They're up a touchdown in plus territory. Final drive, New Orleans, 1 timeout inside the 10-yard line. You cannot let them win that fucking game. Second and long, they throw a screen into a blitz. That's a decision you probably want back, because that kind of gave them the room to say, all right, we might fuck around and try to win this game, which they obviously did. And then the ransom play blows the game. It's a terrible deal. Shuck's clearly going to slide. They're going to line up and try to kick they're going to fire drill, try to kick a ball like 65 yards. Like, just let them do that. And then the last thing is you had Niners and Titans. This is the quote I wanted to share. This is a quote from George Kittle. This is, of course, talking about Brock Purdy. He's that Jesus Christ lizard running on water, which everybody knows that Jesus Christ lizard, right? No ball security. Fake pitching at the end of a 40-yard run. Absolutely just diabolical behavior by our QB1. I love it. And the coal miner Christian McCaffrey leads the league with 345 touches. He's still got 147 touches to go until he reaches James Wilder single season record of 492, which I think there are class action lawsuits that are available to Mr. James Wilder Sr., who I looked up today, 67. That's a lot of fucking touches. He was doing that for the Buccaneers in the 80s.
84, yeah.
The last thing is this. I think we talked a lot about, and I brought up Purdy and his scramble and everything, but he looked better throwing the football, didn't he? For the people that were calling for his job after that first game off the injury, he looked good, didn't he?
He was hooping in this one. Bunch of great plays, both on and off schedule. Pearsall, bunch of big plays. He found him 6 times, 96 yards. Kittle, 8 grabs, 88 yards. He hit it was a non-designed jump pass to Kittle for 6. It was an incredible play.
He's fun, dude. He always makes it more fun. Brock Purdy, welcome back. Like, officially, it seems like you're all the way back. And the Niners keep winning, dude. They keep fucking winning. So they won't be in the Bermuda Triangle for long. It's just anybody that plays Tennessee from here on out is probably in the Triangle. And I just want to remind Bryce Young, if you're out there, or if you're a Bryce Young hater, I sent this tweet a year ago. I still stand by it. Look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. You see these two guys? Now, things might not be great for either of them individually right now in their new setups, respectively, and maybe this actually fucks the whole argument up. But I think if you're a Carolina Panther and you're playing quarterback and you hang with it long enough, you're either gonna succeed in your building or in somebody else's building. And honestly, I think both teams in that game have found their starting quarterback. I think Shuck, you got to ride with Shuck. I think let Shuck finish the season, but unless you fall in love with somebody in the draft, I think he looks like – I mean, you picked him in the second round. So I look at the guy and I think, well, the Capitol tells me they were serious about him. And they also let Spencer Rattler take all the arrows the first 8-10 weeks of the season, which is another perfect design by the New Orleans Saints. So
well done. You're going to get it anyway. Bo's giving you snaps, not applause. He said, "Fuck the applause. You get snaps."
Yeah, I've been scared to unmute my mic after getting roasted in the chat.
Huh?
He said he's scared to unmute his mic after getting roasted in the chat.
You should mute your mic. People are starting to make fun of your respiratory system. Don't give them any ammunition.
It's tough. Tough.
All right. And with that,
we check out the Zone Landline.
Yes, we are moving to the Zone Landline. Do you have to hear from Zone first?
Love to.
Yeah, I'd love to too. I'd love to too.
Zone!
Before I read this, I want to tell all the kids earmuffs. Earmuffs. And here is the ad read. Nope, that's not the ad read. This is the ad read. I got to read the warning, yeah? Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Y'all know I'm a bit more selective of my nicotine pouches these days, so for me, the quality of the pouch is what I prioritize, which is why I'll pop in a Zone Wintergreen. 1.6 milligram is all I need, whether I'm kicking back and watching ball on a Sunday, floating on the river with Cowboy and the rest of the crew, or breaking down film ahead of the show. Zone easily gets me locked in with its smooth feel and variety of flavors. Zone is always on our game day roster, whether you like fresh mint or like a fresh mint flavor, you're into citrus flavor, check out their roster of options and use promo code GL20 at nickokick.com/zone for 20% off at checkout. Is that the end of the ad read? It's interesting. Something changed about this ad read. No, nothing changed about it. Same old great ad read. Now the ad read's over. Kids, you can uncover your ears.
And we'll get to our
And you should be doing your fucking homework too, by the way, if you're listening to this shit. And if my kids are listening to this, you shouldn't be listening to this shit at all. All right, so let's get to the landline.
Caller number 1.
Hey, boys. Colts Casey here. Have a message for Dr. Fax. Hate to do this, but I have to officially tap out the Colts for this season and admit that the Jaguars are a better team. That's me being the bigger person. Now, do I hope that you and Trevor Lawrence develop some chronic hemorrhoids throughout the postseason? Of course I do. But what a hell of a run this has been. I mean, it's been a pretty fun year. I didn't even bet on the game today. It was just fucking great to watch Phillip Rivers go out there and ball out. So it was pretty badass. But just wanted to officially tap out the Colts. But fact, on the real, like I hope it gets so bad you have to select subscribe and save on your Preparation H orders. So, yeah, appreciate you, boys.
Hey, for playoff wins, I'll take hemorrhoids.
Oh, hemorrhoids, dude? Hemorrhoids are a bad deal, I hear. You don't want that, honestly.
No, but for playoff wins, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I can't wait for the live stream Sunday.
I don't know if I'm agreeing to the live stream yet.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch my game in peace.
You're not going to agree to a live stream, bro? What are you, like, George?
Dude, you have to.
Dude?
It's time
After
to face
all
the
this,
music.
you got to do it.
Also, too.
If you're going to win, why don't you, like, you know you're going to win, dude.
Also, I might try to get to the game in person, guys.
Yeah?
Yeah, like they have the direct flights.
Yeah?
From Richmond.
JetBlue?
Is it JetBlue or maybe
Breeze?
Breeze.
But we're not giving anybody no free ads.
Yeah.
We have one more caller.
Wait, who are we giving a free ad?
None of them?
Nobody. Yeah.
Nobody.
Okay,
knock, knock. Who's there? Real fuel temperatures for pussies. Suck my dick.
Wow.
Go Birds.
Wait, well, who
was that it?
That was it.
Best call of the year.
That was Bo.
Oh, I was
not actually.
No, I was gonna say, like, that's not even a good call. Like that's not even a take for somebody that lives in a place where real feel is really relevant. Like, dude, like,
well, and that's
real feel is completely relevant.
And I will say I was on the.
I don't think they know what we're talking about on this show. Maybe.
No, they do.
Will you explain?
Yeah. Well, so, and this is what we missed on Thursday when we talked about it, which, it came up that half the people on this show totally ignored the real feel when you look at your weather app.
Right.
They just looked at the temperature. So whether it was 15 degrees and the real feel was 0, they were just like, fuck it, just give me the 15 degrees. On Thursday, but we did totally ignore the Midwest contingent that listens to this show, because I did hear from some people that when the weather says it's -3 in the Midwest, the real feel is actually -40. Right. So that's a pretty significant difference and might hurt a little bit.
Yeah, and also in Tampa, bro, when you got humidity out the ass and it's 85 degrees with 90% humidity, real feel is important then too. And your boy, I don't know if you guys knew this, I'm from Minnesota. I live in Tampa. Real feel's important.
And with that real feel, we're going to head to the BetMGM moments right after we hear from BetMGM. Just so that second.
Oh, where is it? Oh, fuck. There we go. I took a break, man. Every once in a while I got to take a break. This holiday season, BetMGM is giving you the gift of another chance at first touchdown scorers. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you cash your bet. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash, like a little holiday bonus from us. Don't miss out on this festive offer. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT to enjoy up to a $1,500 new player offer on your first wager. BetMGM, make it legendary.
So we had best flight and worst flight earlier. Let's pick them real fast. So Chris went with Phillip Rivers for best flight. Bo went with the Chargers. Nate went with J.J. McCarthy. Nolan, how do you vote?
I'm going with Bo for the Chargers.
Bo for the Chargers. Tanner, how do you vote?
Yay!
I'm going with Phillip Rivers. Chris.
Phillip Rivers. Best flight.
He's like, fuck.
Well, I mean, it is between, it's between Phillip Rivers and his old team, and Phillip Rivers does have the best flight.
Yeah, dude. It's how many
How does that
flights
hit?
like this do you have where you're like, just fucking came off the.
Yeah.
I was Gen Pop.
And he probably made, like, they
like
lost
a week
that game,
ago, dude.
And he probably made that flight so much better because he's like, yo, I haven't had this in a while. He was probably jovial and having a good time on that flight.
Yeah.
What's his minimum? What's his vet minimum? What year is it for him?
I don't know what the vet minimum is for him.
For what? For 3 or 4 more games?
I need to think about it, though.
That's a nice little some checks coming. He's
I
getting
don't know
a check this week. Is
how many credited seasons he has, but
going to be looking lovely.
Okay.
$278,888 is what we have on Spot Rack.
Let's hear it.
But worst flight, we have Chris with Green Bay, Bo with Jeffrey Simmons, and Nate with Green Bay. And Nolan, your vote?
I'm going with the Packers voters.
Packers voters. Tanner?
I'm going with Green Bay, but specifically Nate's Green Bay.
Specifically
Nate's Green Bay? How does that work?
I like that. I like that, Tanner.
The Green Bay voters, we'll give a point both way. So Chris and Bo get the dub, and now Chris and Nate get the dub with Green Bay, and now we are going to Bevel Conway.
Ooh, Bevel Conway.
Nate.
Bevel Conway. It's going to Trevor Lawrence's stat line, baby. 5 passing touchdowns.
Just lighting mentions on fire.
1 rushing touchdown, 330 yards, an amazing performance and a win. Getting ready for the playoffs. Bevel Conway. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a stat line like that for a quarterback? It's never. It's never. So
Never.
Bevel Conway. It's beautiful to look at.
Chris, how do you vote?
I'm going to go futuristic Bevel Conway. Tonight's game, the Pittsburgh Steelers on grass with the snow falling against the Miami Dolphins, who actually look pretty good under the lights. And there's going to be a lot of breath. Like, you can see the breath. There's going to be a lot of, power
Some of the
football.
coolest, yep.
I think tonight's going to look beautiful.
Bo?
I'm going to do a Bevel Conway for a quarterback as well. Nate, mine's going to be a good quarterback. My Bevel Conway was the image of Josh Allen throwing up during the middle of the game against the Patriots. I thought that was awesome. Just a gritty game. It's cold out there, a fucking divisional battle, hat and T-shirt game for your divisional opponent. My guys over there on the sidelines absolutely yakking up a storm. That's the kind of shit that pulls a team together and gets them excited to come back from a 21-point deficit and get a huge win on the road. Beautiful sight. I love that.
They were like, concussion? He's like, no, I do this every week. You just don't see it.
No, I just like to park.
Look at the pre-puke face. Look at the pre-puke face, dude. That's unbelievable. You know what my Bevel Conway was going to be? And maybe you can tell me if I should have or not. But it kind of ended up one of those things. I told you to pull the Miles picture, your Bronco.
Yeah.
The Bronco on the roof with the pyrotechnics in the third quarter, to me, is actually my Bevel Conway.
I mean, that's certainly the winner.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fucked up because you emptied the chamber on that earlier.
I know. Yeah, I ran it.
So what am I going to do? I got to keep this shitty Bevel Conway.
Yeah, you got to keep it and just see what
Tonight,
happens.
future Bevel Conway.
You're up 2-1, so you're sitting in a good spot,
This is stupid.
2-1 through 3 awards, or 2 awards, really.
I still think Steelers Dolphins going to be beautiful.
Tanner,
What's the
how do you
real
vote?
feel?
I vote Josh Allen's puke.
Josh Allen's
good.
puke.
Yeah, I'll go with the puke as well.
It's unanimous. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's tough guy stuff.
Hey,
Being a superhero.
Before we move from Bevel, what's the verdict on the white cheddars? You guys like those or not?
White cheddars, as we discussed, could use some tweaks.
The Packers uniforms.
We could use some tweaks.
That's my anti-Bevel.
Okay.
Oh,
Way to
Perfect segue.
fucking
Good
kick
work.
it off then.
Straight
Nice.
into it because they look like the Grambling Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
It looks like they look like an HBCU school. Like, I don't know what it is, but that logo with that all white, they just don't look like it doesn't.
That's
look
always
like
their logo.
Yeah, I know, but it's just that
it looks a little different. Yeah,
yeah.
It
Without
makes
the
it
green
look.
and yellow.
It does make it look different because I don't know. Like, I guess when you watch the college guys who have that same logo, whenever you look at it, it never looks like the Green Bay logo.
Yeah,
I will say,
would they be better off just like putting some yellow in, as Nolan suggested yesterday?
Yellow
put some
stripe.
yellow in the helmet, or fill the G in,
mm-hmm.
or you just go white pumpkins, man. Like no logo.
At some point, can they just buy into it and just put a piece of cheese? Just
A
do it.
cheese head.
that
like
would
a,
be
a
sick.
cheese shaped
That would
helmet,
be sick.
Or a cheese helmet, like it just looks
like
like
airbrush cheese.
Yeah, like the Swiss.
I'm
like,
not totally out.
Why? I mean, they do it already.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Like but you know, like
you
it's
put
just
if you already wear the hat,
Yeah.
I feel like what's
Yeah.
the difference if you had a game?
they
where
call
you
them the
did that?
quesos, dude.
Yeah, we're wearing the queso.
We're wearing the quesos this week. We don't lose.
Got that
Toyotathon and
queso
quesos. What are we at? Oh, anti-bevel.
Anti-bevel, and Bo's going to let us know what his anti-bevel is.
We talked about this a little bit. Chris referenced it. My anti-bevel is the image of Phillip Rivers sliding out on the Seahawks logo. It just looks so awkward. You know what I mean? And that's a good defense. The rush is bearing down on him. He's like
That's great.
slipping forward. Everyone's like, no, get up.
That shit was great.
I thought he was about to get fucking trucked. That was tough. He was stumbling around.
Some
Yeah,
people
it's hard to
just
watch
like they have like they're like how do I say this? God, I can't say anything in here. You're just bigger boned. Like you're just a big boned person, dude. Like you're just Phillip Rivers, like he drank a lot of milk growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not you're not gonna hurt him. He might look awful in the process, but he can take a hit. All right, so my anti-bevel is Army's uniforms. I hate to do this. I didn't like the Constitution font. Did you see it? I can tell you guys didn't watch
We're gonna
our servicemen and women.
And
Was
says,
Army-
I don't like the
I thought your anti-bevel
white
was going to be
silver.
the coin toss.
No, nothing about the coin toss. But part of the reason that I think
bad.
you can still recover from this, because I did not love the Constitution font, is as we know about the Constitution, if you don't like it, you can just change it. So, it's never too late to change these uniforms.
Is there purple in there? Is that a little
amend the
Reagan-y?
uniforms.
Can you zoom out?
You can
Let me see the
ratify.
full.
You can ratify it.
You ratify that font a little bit. I didn't like the font. I just didn't like the font. It's not me. I've seen better Army Navy get-ups in recent history. So
so we have anti-bevel Phillip Rivers, the Packers jerseys, and the Army jerseys. I am going with the Army jerseys.
Yeah, I'll go with Chris too. That is really bad font. You make a good case.
Tanner.
Make it unanimous.
Unanimous. All right, look at that.
mm-hmm.
Through 4 awards, Chris.
You guys
3.
hate the troops or something?
Bo.
What the fuck?
Yeah, we do.
I don't. Love the troops, dude. Fucking love the troops. I can't wait to tell you who I sat next to the other night.
Is it your best seat?
Oh, is it best seat?
That's best seat. You want to kick it off?
Well, yeah. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure. What was the attendance where I went the other night? Can you? Yeah, okay. I got you. It was like 100,000 is what it felt like in there. Best seat. Best seat was me watching John Cena's last match. I got to go. Do you even know that, Bo? I got to go to John Cena's last match Saturday night. I got to take the boys there.
With 19,230.
It's a real
other
sweat
people.
box, the Capital One Center. 19,232 people. But, man, there wasn't a dry eye in the building when he submitted. Now, granted, I don't know everything there is to know about modern. This was fucked up, dude. He got choked out by some Nazi, dude. This is crazy. WWE's like, yeah, the Nazis got to win. It's just kind of the way things are right now. Fucking this big German stiff Austrian, I got it. But the fucking guy, obviously on gear. I'm not on gear. I'm 258, no gear. These guys, half of them on gear. I go to the fucking event. because WWE reached out to us. They were kind enough to be like, hey, we heard you talking about John Cena on the podcast. We think it was hilarious. Like, you got to come to the thing. And your kids are going to love it. Here's the backstory. One night I was playing video games with my kids, and something about John Cena came up, and they asked me if I could beat up John Cena. I was like, man, this is a delicate situation, because to convince them that I could beat up John Cena, I would have to tell them that wrestling is maybe not fake, but predetermined, right? And I started to go down that path, and you could just see, like, because if your kid, I understand, don't tell kids Santa's fake too early. Don't tell them wrestling's fake. None of that shit. But when your kid's like, yeah, John Cena would dog walk you, you kind of got to pull out the fucking wrestling is fake card. So that's what I started to do. And when I did it, you should have seen it. It was like I told him Santa Claus wasn't real. And so I had to do my best. Just fucking with you. It's totally real. John Cena could definitely kick my ass. And then I just had to deal with it. I just sat there for a while. And eventually WWE reached out, and they're like, yeah, we saw it. It was funny as fuck. But isn't it something that the John Cena's final match, we show up, and the best possible outcome for Dad was John Cena fucking submitting, dude. Because I walked out of that stadium, and I was like, see? I was like, bro, you think I would have fucking tapped out? You think that Nazi who skips leg day would have been able to get me on the ground and get me to tap out? I'm dying in that ring, dude. This fucking John Cena, on the other hand, you should have seen it when they submitted John Cena, bro. There were people in there that it looked like something awful happened. Bro, it looked like something like, dude, and I knew it, bro. I hate to be like I knew it, but they kept bringing you to the edge, do the whole like, bam, bam. Oh, no, he's up. They did it like 40 times to John Cena, bro. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, like, they're really going to do this shit. They're going to kill him off. They're going to accelerate this heels fucking storyline. My kids had a great time. And then when the women were up wrestling, my 9-year-old turned to me as he was like, it's not so bad when the women wrestle. I was like, oh man, no comment. My wife went to get a concession or something, and he makes that comment. I was watching him when old Sol Ruka walked out. I was like, what are you guys looking at? But that shit was hilarious, man. And to be honest, the magic of wrestling, dude, it is magical. I know I poke a lot of fun at wrestling, but it is magic. When your kids are in there, Luke was out for blood, bro. He was screaming, slam him! Yeah. Throw him out of the fucking ring! He didn't say fucking. Yeah. Oh, it was awesome, dude. We had so much fun. I didn't get any sleep Saturday night. But the coolest part was, so best seat, we met Tyrese Halliburton, by the way. Nice. He was sitting like up front with like John Barenthal, and I was like, yeah, see kids, all the fucking big timers are here. No, and then Tyrese Halliburton on the way out is walking through like the VIP hallway, and I was like, fuck it, I got to do it. I got to say what's up because this will make my kids' night. They love him. And I was like, hey, Tyrese. And he turned and the moment of truth where I'm like, am I going to get fucking like big boyed right now in front of my kids and it'd be awkward? He was the nicest dude in the world. Hey. You know, got down on the kids' level, said what's up to him, the whole thing. That's fire. Great guy. And then the other one was I was sitting there getting ready. Like we had half the row and then like half the row was unoccupied. And this group of like 3 regular looking dudes walked in and kind of like pushed past us. You know, and I like to get up and be real like, hey, here you go. Like, and boy, am I glad I did, because as soon as the guy sat down, the cameras started to come around and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He looks pretty normal. And then at the next break, they go, please welcome Edward Byers, Navy SEAL, Medal of Honor winner, like 45 fucking heroic things this guy's ever done. And like, he's sitting right next to me. And I turn to my kids and I go, actually, that's the guy that can beat everybody in this motherfucker up, including your dad, bro. I go, you better shake his hand on the way out. We got to meet Edward Byers. Shout out to him and his buddies. They were awesome. So it was an awesome night, man. Best seat. us going to watch John Cena's last match. Shout out to WWE. And I know I'm joking a lot and I'm going on and on about it, but John Cena's a fucking legend, dude. He is I watched him. Like, I came in being like, yeah, I could beat John Cena up. I want to prove it to my kids. And then by the end of the match, I was like, man, what a fucking class act. I love John Cena, dude. Like, you could tell he just makes everybody feel special. Like the kids, like the charity work he does, the other people at WWE, man, he's like a leader, bro. So shout out to John Cena. Oh, yeah. I heard a lot of that Saturday night.
Bo, how you want to follow that up?
Tough act to follow, Chris.
I don't have to win.
Tough act to follow. I mean, I love John Cena. Let me tell you that. Dude, I don't know if you've ever seen his intro for Peacemaker, but it is the best shit in the entire world. And I think we need to remake that dance with the group from the podcast. Anyway, best seat. We talked a lot about the real feel. We talked about how cold it was in Chicago. Some people had a really good viewing party at that game, and that is the Pigeons on Soldier Field. They were loving it. They were sitting right there on the field, fucking right at center stage. It's awesome. Just checking out the Bears, watching Caleb Williams. Pigeons just chilling right in the wild. They don't care about man. They don't care about the football game. They just want to hang out on a nice little field.
Nate. Sorry, this is the second time. Fucked up.
Best seat.
Don't ever call Nate Bo again.
Best seat. I'm giving it to the Williams family of Kyron Williams and Jameson Williams, recently finding out they share the same grandfather and they're actually first cousins.
St. Louis dudes.
And they seem like the families were at the game today. So, at the game this weekend. And I would feel like that's best seats, finding getting connected with past family and then finding out, hey, I have a first cousin.
Dude, that's insane, bro.
Who's also
a premier NFL player
in the league.
How long ago did they realize they were cousins?
No, this week. They said recently. Somewhat recently they made it seem like. So
bro, that's insane.
So this is probably the first picture that their family's taking pictures of them on the field together where they know, hey, we're first cousins.
Can I say something unrelated to this? I said this yesterday in the man cave. I think Jameson Williams might be one of the coolest looking players in the NFL.
So cool.
He looks so fucking cool, dude.
Oh, my God.
It's hard to look that cool. Fucking big sleeves flopping out.
The shiesty is like
the
all the way up to here.
Like up here, dude.
It's like you're playing the faceless man.
Oh, it's incredible, dude. He so happens to be fast as fuck, dude. So.
Nolan? Where do you vote? Chris at WWE,
Guys, I don't
the
have to
Pigeons
lobby.
at Soldier Field, or the Williams family?
Going with the John Cena seats.
There's only one last match.
Tanner's wow.
Fuck that.
No, John Cena, yeah.
Look at that, guys. I'm going with the Williams family, but John Cena does win.
Yeah.
Chris at John Cena.
Okay. You're going to really like worst seat.
What is the worst seat?
You want me to start it?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Diego Pavia, who was quoted as saying after he lost the Heisman in a down year for candidates, bro, who wants it? It's like the fucking NFC South. Dude, you're the Falcons or something. You think you're the Bucs. You're not the Bucs. The Bucs was the other guy, Mendoza. And the quote was, fuck all the voters, but family for life. And then he goes to the nightclub and goes, fuck Indiana. He's got a big fuck Indiana sign. He asked Trump to sign an executive order to change the playoffs because they didn't make it. Have fun at the fucking ReliaQuest Bowl, buddy. I mean, respectfully. I mean, as a Virginia guy, I was pretty hyped to see Vandy be relevant because it makes us feel like anything's possible. But, it turns out you guys had to fucking sign the Antichrist for 2 years to play quarterback to be relevant. He's like Johnny Manziel without some of the charm and talent. So it's just like that rubbed me wrong, dude. I'm like, bro, have some fucking class, bro.
He said he was better than Johnny Manziel. He was asked there was a quarterback play
man, you didn't watch Johnny Manziel.
And he was asked who was the best one. There was a little bracket, and he said he was the best.
Man, you weren't. Man, hell no, dude. Johnny Manziel was that man. Johnny Manziel had rooms full of NFL players on the road at the hotel before meetings. Instead of going out to dinner like dudes were hanging out watching Johnny Manziel play, like just congregating around the TV screen. He wasn't Manziel, but he was a hell of a player. I'm just like, show some class, bro. And I know he already apologized. So he woke up Sunday and had the Sunday scaries and was like, fuck, should I have done that? No, you shouldn't have, bro.
And, honestly, he might have wished he hadn't gone to the Heisman Trophy ceremony because his height might have been exposed a little bit. He's listed at 6 foot. He looked a little shorter than 6 foot standing up there next to Julian Sayin, listed at 6'1", and Jeremiah Love's listed at 6 foot as well.
Well, listen, I think we can officially, I don't want officially because he's got a shot, right? Like he could probably be a pro quarterback, right? Would you say?
Yeah.
Welcome to podcasting, bro. It ain't the worst it ain't the worst lifestyle. I think you're gonna make more money than us right out the gate, bro. But man, I just didn't love that.
Worst seat, Nate.
Worst seat.
I got one if you need a sec, Nate.
Go ahead.
My worst seat. Okay, imagine this. All right, you are a really good player, premier defensive player on one of the best teams perennially in the NFL. You haven't missed the damn playoffs since 2014. There's always hope alive for you, right? Not so fast, Chris Jones. You found out during your post-game presser that your team is eliminated from playoff contention. You see that? After the game, he's talking to reporters. He's like, yeah, there's still a chance. They're like, oh, we're eliminated. Watching his face fall and him kind of come to that understanding live, that's a tough place to be in. That's my worst seat. It's Chris Jones after the game presser.
That was cinema, bro. The room was probably like, do we tell him? Like, who wants to tell him? Like, draw straws to tell Chris Jones that, hey, bro, you're out, bro.
You're out of it.
But he took it kind of good. He was like,
he did.
We kind of deserve that. That was kind of what I read.
Yeah, you could feel the pain in that one,
Mm-hmm.
Nate.
I guess I'm going to go with literal worst seat. Any Bengals fan that got to their seat and it still had snow on it, and you had to remove the snow yourself because the Bengals are too cheap to hire people to clear the snow off. And it's actually, and I've seen that's actually supposedly a violation. Maybe they're going to get fined for it or
probably
slap on the wrist. Or
be interesting to know if the fine is more expensive than how much the snow removal would have cost.
So my thing is, as a fan or like a season ticket holder, are you like allowed to like sue or try to like get some money back or be like, yo, this is ridiculous. We already suck, but like you didn't clean my seat.
Yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
Like I'm already coming to the game in the snow or whatever it may be, and then I get here and it's like.
Well, if you complain, they're just going to ask for more money. You remember that viral thing? The guy called to ask about different tickets.
You
and they were like, well, how else are we going to pay for T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow?
Man, you think they cleaned the snow off of Dodger Stadium back in the day in New York? No. Fucking, if you're old
Sit
school,
in the snow. Yeah.
If you're old school, be old school. Clean the fucking snow yourself. You know what I'm saying?
But where do you displace all the snow? That's what I want to
right in front of the guy in front of you. I'm just joking.
All right, worst seat. We have Diego Pavia, Chris Jones, and the Bengals fans. I am voting
respectfully.
Chris
Diego
Jones.
Pavia.
Respectfully.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chris Jones as well.
Tanner.
Did you already vote Chris Jones?
I did.
Jones.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but I still want to hear it.
I was going to vote for the Bengals.
Bengals fans?
Yeah.
All right. Well, one for Bengals fans. We have Hollow Man.
Go ahead.
I mean, this has to be the biggest hollow man in the United States this week. It has to go to the ex-Michigan coach, right? That's pretty. If it's
I didn't.
any
Yeah,
hollower,
I think it's
any. I don't know if it could get any hollower.
I think voting any other way is it's an implication that I don't want. Was the menu thing real? The pizza named after the side piece? Respectfully?
Oh, I missed that.
It's a lot of it. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out.
There's a pizza now?
And it's just like, guys, I know we joke about eating oysters here, but he must eat a lot of fucking oysters because the stories
must be those Great Lake oysters, bro.
Man,
fuck me, dude. Golly, dude, that guy's got a problem.
Oh man,
doesn't he? I mean,
horny.
That's what high-speed internet's for, bro. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what? I put that Jay-Z song. It was all good just a week ago in our group text. Like this is that thing personified, dude. Like when I saw him at a court hearing like that, like.
And the craziest thing to put in perspective, like I didn't know he was. I mean, I just never checked into it, but it's just like he's my age. He's 30.
He's younger than me. That's crazy.
And it's just like you have the probably the greatest job in the world you can think of for yourself. To like the top of the world to like.
Did they say he was trading tickets for like group sex?
That I heard that was
trying to trade tickets for group sex.
The girl came out and said she said that was a lie. That,
okay.
Like, assistant was reaching, but it does seem like no. What is true is that like halftime of the national natty game. He was
imagining he gives them like nosebleeds, or like puts them in the family section,
right?
Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then the other one, what were you just saying? He did?
That he was texting. Like they have the time of like conversation.
Yeah,
I think at halftime of the, not the halftime of the Ohio State game or of game.
Yeah, he was
in his DMs.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, not like it's one thing you always if players because we always say like there's definitely players who go to the locker room at halftime to rush to your phone to see
absolutely
like
hollow, man.
To see your mentions or see if people are texting you or whatever. But to be a head coach and to be checking your DMs for like your side pieces,
yeah,
like,
that's crazy.
Is absolutely
that's crazy
because that means that's all you're thinking.
Somebody called him a certified gooner, and I just learned what that word meant this week, and I was like,
yes,
what is going on out there, dude? What is going on out there?
He is what you would call the certified gooner for sure.
Who's the? I'm gonna go Hollow Man, the guy from the fucking and you know what else is crazy? They're still running that Allstate ad with the Michigan guy. How many times did you see that Michigan guy?
Golly.
Yesterday, like just pull the ad, dude. Like nothing Michigan for a couple weeks. Like I wouldn't even watch Bussin' with the Boys, man. I would just watch. I would watch us for a couple weeks. So I'm just joking. So, anyways, Hollow Man. No, I texted Taylor. All right, the guy for the Panthers who blew the game, like that's I forget his damn name.
Ransom.
I already said it, but that is like nightmare stuff, dude. That is you don't do that. You might be first in division this morning. Like there's a couple things else that happened in that game, but that's just one of those brutal end of game deals.
Did you see that Tyler Shuck after the game said that he might have sold that hit a little bit?
I'm sure he did. And Bryce, I know Bryce slid and didn't get the call, but Bryce's slide was a little bit later. It's not apples to apples, and I wanted the Panthers to win that game, but they didn't.
Shuck said he knew they were out of timeouts and took advantage.
Yeah, smart player, huh? This Shuck guy, man.
Bo, Hollow Man.
Wow, two tough acts to follow. A lot of hollow men around there. One of whom is also Bijan Robinson, dude. We talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, we already talked about this.
I was astounded hearing that, and I mean, it's like, dude, you got to be smarter than that. Come on, man. You're celebrating a big win, and then you just completely fucked it up for yourself. So
said it with such joy too. Just to
I know.
Oh, he's such a good guy.
I know, and that's what sucks. If you don't know him, and you're just like, if you want to think negatively, it's like at no moment when he was saying that was he trying to mean harm or anything of the sort, but it's just the clip of it is just like he's all smiles, reminiscing playing ball when he was younger.
And it's like, funny because like I saw a bunch of people mad at him because he apologized. It doesn't cost you anything to just be like, my bad.
Yeah.
And also like I some things to me aren't that sacred. Like it's stupid to like hold on to fucking the name of a kid's game just because you think you're like caving to some population. I thought it was a perfect situation. The way people act like you get canceled if you say anything wrong. Nothing happened to him. Nothing should happen to him. He said something that was a blind spot for him, and after the game he was like, "Yo, I'm sorry." And I also I saw some people on Twitter that were like, "Man, that at first I was pissed when I saw it because I'm part of that population or whatever," and then I was okay with it once I saw him apologize. Like, it should be no harm, no foul. Like, the guy just he didn't know. Didn't know.
I mean, I know what you guys.
And also, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, damn, I can't call it that anymore. What the fuck, dude? Is this even America?
Well, and we talked about what we called that game when we were younger. I know you guys might have mentioned, but I personally, I called it smear the person with the football, regardless of how they identified themselves in terms of gender and sex.
For sure, exactly.
Kill the carrier.
It's just some things I'm like, man, you really got to fight like that over it. Like, you'd already be moved on with your day if you were like, okay. Like, things change. Imagine that over 25, 30 years, you can't say certain things, dude. All right, what's next?
Next, we're going to vote. Tanner? Bijan Robinson, Sharon Moore?
Sharon Moore.
Sharon Moore.
If he doesn't win, y'all...
I'll let you vote, but...
Yeah, I'm going with Nate.
Yep, that's a runaway. Big giveaway. STL Memorial.
STL Memorial.
I got one. STL Memorial.
Yeah, I vote Nate.
I'm giving my guy Cole Van Lannon, O-lineman from the Jags. A lot of people probably don't know about him, but Cole is the only offensive lineman to play 4 different positions on the O-line in 2025. Left tackle, he has 73 snaps. Left guard, he has 72 snaps. Right guard, 46, and right tackle, 133 snaps. And at left tackle this season, 73 pass blocking snaps, only 1 pressure allowed, no sacks. He is playing lights out. And he was a guy that when drafted, they said his measurables, he was kind of small, so they didn't know where he would line up in the league. And what do you know? He can line up wherever and do it well. So shout out to Cole.
Shout out.
You know where he went to college?
What's the guy's name?
Damn it.
Cole Van Lannon.
Oh, he went to Wisconsin, Whitewater.
Not Whitewater. The Badgers.
Oh, yeah. The way he looked at Bo, I thought it might be.
I didn't feel like interrupting another Jags monologue from Facts.
Shout out to Derek Stanley, who went to Wisconsin Whitewater, though. All right. I really don't know many Wisconsin Whitewater guys. Do you, Bo? You know any Wisconsin Whitewater guys?
3 of them. I think there's 2 or 3 in the NFL. It's actually a storied D3 program. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking impressive.
Powerhouse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bear with me here. St. Louis Memorial, Karma. Okay? And I'm not talking about the Taylor Swift song. This isn't necessarily Chiefs related, but it is loosely Chiefs related. Yesterday, many of our best players in the NFL fell victim to terrible injuries, whether they were ACLs or what have you. Devontae Adams, hopefully not the case, but it looked like his hamstring fucking exploded, dude. It was crazy. Mahomes ACL, Micah's ACL. Who else did we miss? I mean, over there have been a lot of great players lost this year. It feels like the injuries are up. But inevitably what you see is chatter online. And I know it's online and these aren't real people. A lot of them are bots or people that would never fix their face to say this in public. But you get people that they laugh about a team's injury or, they're like, good, finally Mahomes, or good, Micah Parsons, or, dude, karma's going to catch up to you guys, man. And I don't wish ill on a lot of people. I don't have to. But I would anticipate maybe your credit scores to get worse, or like random bad luck type things to happen to you. Maybe you injure yourself in like a minor way, nothing too serious. But I hope karma comes for you if you cheer people's injuries. Professional athletes, just because they're rich doesn't mean it's fun when a guy's Achilles pops. If you don't like his team, you can just probably shut the fuck up about it. Nobody asked.
Dig it, Bo.
Karma. STL Memorial. Got to give some love to Kyle Pitts. He had 11 receptions, 166 yards, and 3 touchdowns on Thursday Night Football. He was like uncoverable, man. He looked really good. Obviously, a freak talent that hasn't quite, produced the way that everyone was hoping. So, contract year for him. He played really well. He's hard to guard. Physical mismatch.
Yeah, that's a good one, man. He fucking balled.
Nolan, were you voting?
Nate, Cole Van Lannon. Great call.
Van Lannon.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Tanner?
I'm going with Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. I'm going Cole Van Lannon.
I agree, but Kyle Pitts, man, he had a great game.
He did.
He had a great game.
Maybe game ball?
Probably not.
I want to give a quick STL memorial. Brian Nelson. He's in the Greenlight Fantasy Football playoffs in the championship. Good for him.
Playoffs are going on right now?
Playoffs are going on right now.
What happened to me?
Yeah, I forgot to
you finished the regular season 7-7.
I didn't make the playoffs.
No, you didn't. But you won your first round of the consolation, and I actually went back just for fun, just to see if you had set your lineup for
what
the weeks
would have
that you
happened?
did.
I would have fucking rolled.
You would have been 11-2.
I know, dude.
The number 1 seed.
Yeah.
This is like fucking
Yeah. Reed got lucky. I didn't set my lineup, so he won.
Can't say.
You didn't.
I know you guys.
Or yes, you did.
You can't say I'm a bad boss. I let you guys
the
win
playoffs?
fantasy football.
Check it. I got players out in my starting lineup, Reed.
Wait, so Nelly won the chip? Or?
No, he's in it.
Oh,
He's
in it.
Okay, can I go first?
Please, for the game
ball.
Game ball.
I'd like to give it to Trevor Lawrence.
Nice. That's perfect. That's perfect.
6 touchdowns.
Nice.
6 fucking touchdowns.
There we go.
A month ago, you asked if he was a bust. He's not a bust. He's the greatest quarterback in the NFL, and he played great yesterday. And I resent that comment from you. And I'm still mad at you about that comment that you said in the group text a month ago. Not a month ago. Game ball, Trevor Lawrence.
Game ball. My game ball is going to A.J. Brown. 2 receptions, 41 yards, and a touchdown in a win for the Eagles. He deserves it. The Eagles looking very mediocre at the end of the year, but but we love it. And I mean, yeah, game ball. A.J. Brown, he deserves it.
All right, game ball. Yeah, let me read out this stat line for you guys. I don't think you've heard it today. 20 for 32, 330 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 sacks, and a rushing touchdown. 5 carries for 51 yards. My game ball is going to go to Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he's gotten spoken enough about today. He's the best quarterback on the planet. As Chris likes to say, he's the best quarterback in the universe. And frankly, I just don't think he gets enough love on this show. So,
well, we don't know for sure about the universe, do we?
I get, yeah.
Usually when I talk about
Chris.
Josh Allen, I like to say galaxy. If I can help it, because the
universe is a big
home
place.
to an infinite amount of galaxies. And then if you believe in like the multiverse, bro, like, come on, there's another Josh Allen out there, just like him.
But there's not another Trevor Lawrence accounting for 6
not.
touchdowns. I can't imagine that happening any other time.
There's one in a million. There's one in a million. Okay, what do we think? What do we think tonight, fellas? Because I got to be honest. I've been taking BetMGM out back. You know what I'm saying? But tonight I'm not really feeling anything.
Fins in the snow.
Fins in the snow.
Steelers are favored by 3, 42.5 total.
I don't like the thought of Aaron Rodgers being cold and old. It don't mix.
Cold and old.
Cold and old don't mix.
The Dolphins Dolphins win another game under 45 degrees or whatever it is. That's called a winning streak in cold weather. So, Achan's a concern. Achan's the concern. But I don't want to bet those slimy porpoises in prime time. It's just not it's not who I am. Kind of goes counter. What do we think, chat? You got any fucking?
Someone goes Boswell 3+ field goals tonight. That's a great bet.
That's
maybe even 4. Yeah,
that's a really good bet. We got to bet field goals tonight. We got to bet is our guy Washington playing tight end? Washington touchdown.
Get him anytime.
Anytime
I would love
touchdown.
that.
I got this vision of him with Dolphins draped all over him in the end zone in the snow. Anthony Weaver all pissed off. Yeah. So
is the rapping tight end still playing, or is he hurt?
The rapping tight end. Darren Waller?
Yeah.
The rapping tight end, dude.
I like Darren Waller if he's playing tonight. He usually shows up in primetime games.
Yeah.
Got to promote that music. So
yeah.
What's a better spot than balling out on Monday Night Football?
No, yeah. That's good. That's good. One of these days I'm going to bust out my Pittsburgh Steelers single that I wrote
I was hoping
summer.
it was going to come.
Because Pat McAfee came out with a single.
Yeah,
and I was
no.
like, maybe we should do some singing.
Yeah.
Duke.
You know,
it needs to see the light of day.
Yeah. Well, maybe this week. I got this Steelers song that I wrote earlier this year. It's a play on the Styx hit Renegade that they play at the stadium. I'll tell you guys about it later. I'll build a little intrigue. But when this single sees the light of day, you're gonna want to buy the single. You won't even have to buy it. You might have Spotify. You want to go to Apple Music and buy it anyways. So, all right, my prediction tonight is Steelers by TJ Watt. How long is he out?
I don't know how long, but he is out tonight.
That's a wild deal. You know, you pay a guy to puncture your lung. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, like, why is, I mean, like.
I had dry needling done all the time. I just think it's crazy.
But, like, what was hurt on him? Like, when you're getting dry needling, like, what?
Could be a pec. No, it could be a pec or that type of thing, or shoulder. You know.
Here, and you can hit a lung, though?
Well, I don't know where your lungs stop. Where do your lungs stop?
That's what I don't, like.
Where do your lungs stop? They go up a ways. They go behind your titty, yeah? Yeah. Lung behind the titty? In the rib cage? That's because your rib cage is anatomically supposed to protect your lungs.
So you used to get dry needling up here?
Yeah, you get it in your chest sometimes.
And it's just like, it's acupuncture. Like,
yeah, it's to get your body to loosen up.
But I feel like those needles don't go in that far, right?
But how about like chucking a needle and being like, yeah, this is gonna loosen up your trapezius, and it's gonna flip the AFC playoff.
And then next thing you know, you're breathing like me on the mic.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That guy is in hell right now. He's maybe actually Hollow Man. His practice is
because they did that to Rod, right?
Well, that was a different thing. So dry needling is these little needles that actually don't hurt at all. They're just more unsightly. What they did to Tyrod was they shot cortisone probably, or some sort of and then so basically when they were shooting the cortisone or what have you, I think it punctured the lung, which is scary. So
it's just scary to think.
Be careful
about,
with your lungs out there.
Yeah, just being dealing with a medical professional like inside your building or facility, and something like this happens. Like obviously accidents happen all the time, but
well. We're going to close the show now. Everybody have a great evening. Thank you for hitting the curveball on the time. And, you know, with the bye weeks and, you know, certain teams falling out of the races here at the end of the season, the show will be quicker. But we really appreciate it. Enjoy Monday Night Football. Take care.